Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday night, and it is Bronze here tonight, and we're here at the magnificent Gilles Villeneuve circuit for the Canadian Grand Prix. Of course, debuted way back in 1981, I believe it was. Goodness me, when I was a young warthog and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm not a young warthog anymore. Goodness me, I think I've got my old Zimmer frame on the go and everything now. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get on to the racing, shall we? And of course, unfortunately, you've got me again tonight, haven't you? I think that you quite enjoyed having a night off from me last week, didn't you? But yes, I am back as I think that the demand for Knowlesy and Pillars there, I think, was too great. But unfortunately, I think that the fans would have gone too wild, wouldn't they? Really would indeed then. So of course, we've got 14 turns around this Gilles Villeneuve circuit then on the man-made island. This is just off the Saint Notre Dame rowing course or something like that. I don't know, something like that. And of course around Montreal as well, of course. So brilliant 17, then 14 turns as I mentioned, 2.7 mile circuit. Lap record holder is held by Bottas. There's no lap record holder in bronze because this is the first time in the ALR bronze history that we are racing here in Canada as well. Sorry, I got a big old ulcer on my lip. As again, I don't know what's wrong with the ulcers at the moment. I think it's apparently you get ulcers from lack of sleep, don't you, or something like that? I don't know. I did go to sleep till 4 last night, so yeah, I am absolutely burning the candle at both ends there. Oh gosh, so I might be lagging a bit towards the end of that. Well, talking of lag, let's hope I don't lag. Actually, goodness me, after Sunday's performance, gosh, yeah, I've had to go old school and get the old cable out. Right then, in the driver's standings, we have this. It's Velocity that is still leading the way there. But has now got a new challenger in the form of Energetics, who's moved his way up to second, and after an appalling start to his championship campaign, he is now in the top 3, isn't he? He's now in the top 2, I should say, and it's 14 points away from Velocity. Farf is 16 points further back at the moment, but it's the top 3 in a league of their own at the moment. Fantastic stuff, isn't it? 24 points back then is 24 points back is Mike Amon, who's had 2 race wins this season, hasn't he? He's been brilliant, Mike has. Fantastic stuff so far from Mike. Newman is in 5th position as well. Of course, he won his first race last time, didn't he? And he is now flown right up into 5th position. Lovely stuff indeed there for Newman. Lagore in 6th. Ayrton dropping down in 7th position with Curly Red also in 8th. Noondown, a fantastic season, isn't he? In 9th position. And Rimbo in 10th position as well. Maz moving up to 7 positions after getting his first points of the season and a fantastic 4th last time out. Forza, who's just stepped back into the Ferrari for the last couple of races, is in 13th at the moment, and Camaro, Fran and Gunnar have all dropped down positions as well. Dead Rabbit, Brandon, RDW and Stereogram has not scored any points so far in the driver standings. So then we move on to the constructors now. Williams are leading at the moment, and they're 13 points at the top of McLaren in second. Goodness me, it's basically topsy-turvy, isn't it? Because in silver, both those teams are near the bottom. Alfa Romeo is in 3rd position, then Renault 4th, Haas in 5th position with Ferrari in 6th then. Oh goodness me, it's a bit of a miserable day out there at the moment. Good gosh. 7th position is AlphaTauri. Oh, we got Racing Point in 8th position. Mercedes is dropped down into 1 and 9th, and 10th position is the Red Bull team. Only 11 points so far for Red Bull, so they've got to They got really pull their socks up, haven't they? I've got to say the constructors in bronze is fantastic, isn't it? Look, it's the top 8 is separated by less than 100 points, and Mercedes are only 104 points back. Red Bull are currently lagging behind at the moment, then, so they've got to pull up their socks, so to speak, haven't they? In the form of a Gunnar and Camera Racer as well, and it is very gloomy out there at the moment, isn't it? And I've got to say, very overcast indeed, then. But as I quickly take a look there, Gunnar there. Evening, Sean. Good evening, Gunnar. Hope you're well tonight. We have also got Ayrton saying, hello, Sean. Love you too, Ayrton. Moi. We have got Gunnar saying, is that Ayrton or Emerson right as well? It's already, the banter's already starting. We haven't even got out on circuit yet. Goodness me. We have got Gordo saying, I actually think the hardest challenge of my life will not be invalidating my quality lap as well. Redbow is saying, evening, lads. Good evening, Redbow. Hope you're having a lovely day. We have also got Gordo's saying hello as well. As Gunnar saying, doesn't mind invalidating this up. He's smashed in the wall is more what he's concerned by. Well, aren't we all, Gunnar? Aren't we all? Energetics rain in 15 minutes, and we've also got Sam also in the gantry as well. Goodness me! Yes, we have got rain then in 15 minutes. Camera Racer is well, is that qualifying already? I thought we had a Q2 ban, but Unfortunately, then he is not going to be a part of this qualifying performance as well. We've also got we're on board now. Velocity, the world championship leader in bronze at the moment. Then so he comes across the line as well. Then and starting us out then because we've got rain in 15 minutes. I think Farf was even saying actually to me before we started this session he wanted rain as well. So there's a bit of conspiracy theories going on now, isn't it, from Farf? Oh goodness me, is Velocity getting a bit of a wiggle on as well. Of course, the weather in every single race in the ALR is dynamic, isn't it? So of course it doesn't matter. Rain or shine there, you've got to put up with the conditions, don't you? And that's the beauty about Formula 1 gaming, is we don't have to worry if the rain gets too heavy. And there's only one instance I've ever seen where we've had to have the safety car for heavy rain as well. Lovely stuff indeed. Then as Gavin is already up to his tricks as well. Then as goodness me, then yes, as I've also been informed about rain for a couple of times there. Farf has also told me that as well, as well as Ojix as well. Then as we're back on board, and yellow flag center is fluttering now out there, but I don't think Velocity is going to be too concerned about it. We've got 3 DRS zones around here. Well, if the rain gets too heavy, that DRS will be disabled then. Of course, wet weather conditions, you cannot use the DRS zone because it's deemed as unsafe as well. And goodness me, Velocity there coming through that final turn with such velocity as well, hugging the inside there. He is fast at the moment. 094 there, goodness me, right off the bat there, lovely stuff indeed. Dead Rabbit then, of course, some shenanigans there somehow, but he's got a qualifying free ban at the moment in the AlphaTauri. And here comes Gordo, he's having a second bite of the cherry here tonight then. He finished the 11th last night there, and unfortunately as he's just skipped across, and Energetics is straight into the 8s already. Goodness me, no messing about from Energetics, is he? Goodness gracious me, since Monaco, he is a new man, isn't he? Fantastic stuff there from Energetics, and right on the money as well. Maz there, hopefully, since Azerbaijan is a new man as well. Finally getting some points off the board for Maz, and really his championship position does not really corrugate his pace, does it? He's invalidated his time so far. Liam, has gone into 4th position, and we've got Frisky Biscuit. What a name! I love that, and he's even got my favourite number as well. I think we got my new favourite driver, Frisky Biscuit. I love that. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. Well, he's in 6th position. Mike has just gone into 5th fastest, and we've got Liam, who's also another debutant in 4th position. We've got a couple of debutants then. I was going to cover him in a minute, but goodness me, they're out there quite quickly as well. Renbo goes into 2nd fast at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed there from the Haas driver. And we have also got Bradfield also moving up into 7th position. Goodness gracious me then. I've got to say, it feels like old school qualifying, isn't it? Goodness gracious me then, as they are flying out of the pits quite quickly, aren't they? Fran just coming past me now. Ayrton's invalidated his time. That could make or break your position here tonight. Then Newman, the last man out who won the race last time. If I get my teeth back in ever, that'll be interesting stuff indeed. Then as we're now just coming on to the back straight as well. Goodness me, then you're very chatty in the comments tonight. I love it. As we're on board, Curly Red then as he comes into the chicane, and it's like, take a lot of curb there, a bit of elbow grease, then as he comes out of the final turn, then not hugging the inside then, or the outside I should say. Curly Red goes into 11 fastest, and Fran has gone into 10 fastest, and Fran has really been flirting with the points, hasn't he, in the last couple of races. Fran has, and he's been doing a very good job, I think. Fran has overall, and getting 6 points so far. Fran has in the last 2 races of Monaco and Azerbaijan, really helping himself on nicely as well. Here comes Newman, who's gone 8 fastest at the moment. Then in the McLaren course, he won in Azerbaijan, didn't he? Force is going to have to go around again there, as he has had some issues there. Ayrton is just come back into pit as well, so we're keeping an eye on Force there. And this is a special place for Ferrari fans, isn't it? Because of course the legendary Gilles Villeneuve, of course this is where the track is named after him, and Gilles Villeneuve, I got to say, is one driver which he may not have a lot of records behind him, but records for drivers like Gilles Villeneuve doesn't really matter as much, does it? Well, because you just see some of the races he was involved in, and you can just show how incredible he was, doesn't it? I think it's the 1979 Grand Prix in Dijon, was it? I think where he was him and Arnoux was just banging wheels, weren't they? That was a fantastic race. I'm sure it was in Dijon. Perhaps I'm wrong on that one. I just remember watching it on YouTube once. That was fantastic. Another race where you might enjoy it is where Villeneuve's left, I think it was when his rear wheels was hanging off, wasn't it? And it was incredible. I think that was in Zandvoort, wasn't it? As well, of course, and brilliant stuff indeed then, and I absolutely love it. And So he's not, but anyway, I've been talking about the Ferrari. I should be talking about the other Ferrari, and I mean a Forza Ferrari. As he comes out the final turn as well, Forza took a couple of race breaks, didn't he? But he's back in action. He's back in 11th position. He's back in the Ferrari. That was 17. Then Curly Red has found half a second there in the first intermediate alone there from Curly Red. Impressive stuff from the Racing Pool driving. And Curly Red, another man who's really been doing very nicely indeed, haven't they? In terms of his energetics, counting down the time when the rain's going to come. He has now got 10 minutes to go then, and you can see the clouds are starting to really gather, isn't it? The storm clouds are gathering. Troy is in the session then, lovely 70, but he was starting at the back of the field. No, he might be able to get in a car actually, but yeah, the rain clouds are gathering, aren't they? They're going to be gathering for the likes of Ayrton Farf, Ardy Wee, who's still in the pits at the moment, and Gooner also in the pits as well. No, he's out of the pits now. They haven't set time just yet though. Curly Red coming out of the World of Champions out there, not a very good 70 there to the edge there, not over the edge though. He's in front of Frisky Biscuit at the moment, who by the way, it's got my new favourite name on board Ayrton now, and I've got to say I love that helmet as well from Ayrton, a bright yellow helmet there, probably not as pays beautiful homage there, doesn't it, to the great late Ayrton Senna as well, doesn't it? So lovely stuff there. When you see the yellow helmet, first man you think of is Ayrton Senna as well. Of course, Lewis Hamilton started off with the yellow helmet as well, and I kind of wish he kept that really, personally, because of course I'm quite old school when it comes to helmets. I do love a good helmet, but the reason why I'm quite old school about it is because of the it's your signature, isn't it? It's like when you're a football player and you have like a certain number, really like Gerrard had number 8 and all that kind of stuff. That's the only player I know. I think didn't Milan Baros had number 5, I think, for Liverpool as well. But I think we've gone over this before, haven't we? But as I'm getting deja vu. But of course, I feel that your helmet should be your signature, really. And of course, a lot of drivers do change them every now and again, don't they? Ayrton goes into 9th fast at the moment, then, so that should be safe there or thereabouts. Gooner is now back out on track as well. Gordo really hitting the heights at the moment. A great 70 there in 4th position as well. And I have looked down, and goodness me, then you guys are nattering away in the comments as well. And I've got to adjust my headset because it's falling off. And there we go. And oh gosh, there's a pinch in my ear now as well, so I'm going to be in a lot of pain now for the rest of this stream as well. Goodness me, I thought I seen Ardy Wee there having a bit of opposite lock there. Oh goodness gracious me then. He was wagging that tail, wasn't he? Farf's invalidated his time, so is Gooner as well. Is this going to be a problem? Well, not at the moment, because we're looking up in the skies. We're waiting to see some wet. We're waiting to see some wet come out of the sky, some rain. That is not happening at the moment, no, is it? So these guys are okay for the moment. As long as it stays dry, it should be right. Farfar is really are on board with the man who's third in the World Championship. Believe it or not, Farfar's only got 1 win this season, hasn't he? And I feel that with the pace he's got, he should have a lot more than 1 win. And I think that Farf has thrown away a couple of wins so far this season, isn't he? In car 15, as a Gooner is actually just popped back into the pits as well. Fran is back out on the circuit as well. He's 2/10 of a second up at the moment. That will get him in front of Forza. We are aiming to lose any cars but 16 from below in the session then, so we're going to be losing 4 cars then. Remember last night we only had 16 cars, didn't we? As unfortunately I think all the silver guys was on holiday. Ferran now coming into the final turns. Right, goodness me, taking a lot of speed. Oh, too much speed there, and he's knocked off the end player of that Mercedes. Let's see if that's going to improve. Right, he's up to 11th position. Lovely jubbly indeed there. Dead Rabbit is back out on circuit as well then. He is in 13th position now. Frisky Biscuit and Forza, both Ferraris are looking over their shoulder there with 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session. This is going to get very interesting indeed. Then there's Sirius Merchant said welcome to the penalty fest as well then, as we've got Nunda saying, oh, Liam doing good on his debut there. Liam at the moment is in 5th position. Goodness me, he's doing a fantastic job out there, isn't he? And Farf is invalidated again. Farf has he's going to get his head in the game, isn't he? Because of Farf at the moment. That's 2 times now he is invalidated. And luckily the rain hasn't come yet. As Energetics, I think, is still counting down, isn't he? As just on board as well. Then it's with Ardy Wee, Farf's teammate at the moment. Then as Becca saying, I'm not saying a word. I'm still grieving about the Zanfor antics as well. Adam Wolford there. Let's go Frisky Biscuit. I love that name. I really do. I got to say I love it. I love a driver with a great name, and Frisky Biscuit is probably one of my all-time favourites, and great stuff indeed there from the Ferrari driver. He's down in 14th position at the moment now with 7 minutes to go, and I'm wondering then if he's going to think about coming back out the pits again then. Well, his teammates out of the pits at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed then, as as we're just on board now then with Artie Weedens. He's coming into the 13 and 14 as well, then lovely stuff. He hops over the curbside and he is away now then. Artie Weedens, he doesn't hug the outside of the circuit. He is 14 fast. That has knocked Forza into the drop zone at the moment, hasn't he? Goodness me, Forza's going to have to really get himself going now, isn't he? Gunnar is also out on circuit as well, looking up in the sky. There is still some menacing clouds over it. There is no rain that is falling at the moment, so as long as the rain isn't falling, these drivers are still in the game then, as we have got a Alpha Tower there just cruising out of turn 2 as well. You look at the track map on the right hand side, it looks quite a simple circuit, doesn't it? But as we already heard from Serious Mushroom, it's a penalty fest, isn't it? And that's racing point, goodness me, going straight into the path there, and that is not good at all, is it? And I think it is Maz, isn't it? Maz has just come out onto circuit and it's really cost Forza there his lap, hasn't he? And I don't think Forza's going to be too impressed with that, unfortunately. Mazda just not using his wing mirrors by the looks of that one, as he just came straight out there and having a and unfortunately they're just blocking forwards, as Gordo saying, hoping Liam and Biscuit do well considering it's their debuts. No, very lovely stuff there from Gordo. Of course, if I was a driver there, I wouldn't be wishing any of my competitors any luck at all. But there you go. But of course, being a commentator, and I have to be a professional, which I try and be, which I never am, to be honest. Of course, I do wish everyone the best of luck as well. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping a special eye on Frisky, Biscuit, and Liam as well. And Liam is looking very strong out there in the second Williams at the moment. Great stuff indeed there. He is of course replacing Nunda for this race only at the moment, as Nunda is unfortunately having to miss this race as well. So Liam has come in as a super sub at the moment then for the Williams team. Here comes Gunnar, and of course Gunnar is one of the most experienced drivers in ALR in terms of he has raced in all 3 divisions so far, hasn't he? Oh, Gunnar's invalidated this time now, so the experienced Irishman's going to be kicking himself for that now, so he's going to have to go around again. Unfortunately, Gunnar Farf is back in the pits there with 5 minutes to go then. Frisky Biscuit is 1900s of a second down on his opening sector there. Goodness me, then very interesting indeed there. As Darren said, yeah, Liam is a great driver then. So yeah, very good stuff indeed there for Liam. Right on it like a carbonic straight from the off as well then. So he's going to really help the Williams team in the constructors stand as well. You already heard about the constructors there, where Williams are topping the standings at the moment, isn't it? So that's going to really help Velocity, isn't they? Albeit Energetics is the man who's currently on pole position at the moment. No, he isn't. He's fastest. We ain't going for pole position yet. Goodness me. I've been doing this for well over a year and a bit now, and I still don't know what's going on. Here comes Frisky Biscuit coming out of the final turn as well. Goodness me there. I gotta say, that's inch perfect there from Frisky, and he goes across the line. Great time indeed. He's back up in the 10th position there, and I gotta say, we've got 2 star of the futures in ALR, haven't we? Goodness me, they're very impressive. Gunnar is invalidated again now. Here comes Forza. He is in the drop zone at the moment along with Farf, and that's quite a surprise to see Farf. Forza jumps right up in front of his teammate there. I gotta say, Frisky and Forza there, very interesting stuff indeed. Them both within a whisker of each other. As Fran there is 222. Oh, is that Curly Red goes full fastest now? Goodness me, he pulled one out of the bag there, didn't he? And I think is that going to be safe? I'm not sure, to be honest, because there's times being improved all over the show, and here's another man who's improving his time, and that is Fran at the moment. Now we're still waiting for rain at the moment now, and there's not really much going on, is there? As so now just coming down then into the final. Oh, and Fran is invalidated this time. Now he's going to have to go around again. Fran is, and that's not good at all. Dead Rope is also invalidated this time as well. As we've got Farf in the comments there doing a bit of blasphemy there, isn't he? Goodness me, Farf is, so don't think he's too happy about something, and he's probably not happy about his position on the tower on the left hand side, isn't he? Oh, he's a Frisky there, getting a bit frisky with the outside there. He is 3/10 of a second up then, as he is still in 12th position at the moment. No, he ain't. He's 9 fastest now, as I had a bit of delay there. We've got Mazda who's 21 seconds off the pace, and Forza is still out on circuit at the moment, but Forza looks like he's on an in lap as well. Fran is also invalidated his next lap as well, as is Dead Rabbit. Artie Wee is back out on circuit as well. I just read we had a fun fact. As a fun fact there from Darren there, Gunnar knows every escape road at every track there, and I gotta say that's a very handy thing to have, isn't it? Of course, especially when you're around the likes of Abu Dhabi, because you can get back to the pits quicker, can't you? But Gunnar there is currently 19th fast moment. He hasn't set a clean lap yet, nor is this man Farf either. So both experienced drivers in ALR, aren't they? In terms of the amount of races they've had over the years, and of course Bronze there. It's this time last year this was Bronze's final race of the season, wasn't it? We only had 9 races last season for bronze in a super short championship. Of course, by this time last season, we already knew who the bronze champion was. Rain! We have Rain, I think. Or does we? I might just look. Oh! Yes, we do have Rain there. He's coming off of Farf's car. And luckily for Farf, then, he has almost finished the lap then for Gunnar. He is not going to be too impressed to see Rain coming out of the sky, is he? He has had about 17 minutes or so to get a time on the board there. So Gunnar there, unfortunately, on 3 bites of the cherry and not really getting the job done at the moment. Here comes Farf. Energetics is cruising back to the pits as well. In the drop zone is Dead Rabbit at the moment. I'm sorry, Dead Rabbit's on the danger zone, I should say there, but by less than 400 a second. Farf hugs the line. There he goes, 5th fastest Farf does in the red. Lovely stuff indeed then, as I can't go above Farf for some reason, but there you go. Dead Rabbit there is 10 for a second down then. Artie Wee is invalidated. It's time. Gunnar's also on circuit as well, and here comes Dead Rabbit then. He is on the cusp then. Fran is in the pits then, and it looks like he's not coming out. Ayrton's also emerged out of the pit lane as well. We're just watching Dead Rabbit coming out of the hairpin as well before accelerating away. Lovely stuff indeed then. And as you're on board then with the back straight then of Dead Rabbit then, he is about less than 10 seconds away from Fran. Fran is now come out of the pits then, and I've got to say this is going to be a supersonic time then, as into the pits comes Dead Rabbit. Dead Rabbit has been confirmed as he is the first man out of qualifying, well the second one technically. Artie Wee might also be out of qualifying as well, albeit he has enough time, doesn't he, to get around and set another time then. So yeah, this might not be all over yet, as we're on board with Gunnar coming out of the hairpin as well, accelerating away then, and up onto the back straight, and Gunnar hasn't set a time yet, so no personal best then to judge his time so far. DRS right on the money then as well, as the rain is falling steadily at the moment there. We've had rain in all, I think we've had rain in every single ALR race in the last 3 days. Incredible, isn't it? On board with Gunnar then as he comes out of the other final chicane where the wall of champions is living. Gunnar is 18 fast alone, and he has one more shot then. Is he going to be listed to JLS there and try and get himself through? Here comes Artie Wee then, as he is now out of turn 2 as well. Fran there is finished, and yes, he's back in the pits. Dead Rabbit's also out of qualifying as well. So those, we know that Dead Rabbit and Camera is out of qualifying. Who's going to be joining them? Is it going to be Artie Wee? Is it going to be Gunnar? Is it going to be Fran? What about Ayrton as well? Goodness me, both Mercedes are Artie Wee is out. Artie Wee is out. He's invalidated this time as well, and so is Gunnar as well. And unfortunately, those are the 4 cars, and it's been knocked out of qualifying, and that is that's a real shame then. Is Gunnar? Goodness me! Oh goodness me! Gunnar is almost losing control of the car. I gotta say, very good stuff indeed there from Gunnar there. Obviously he's been practicing on dirt, but unfortunately there for Gunnar though, that is not the quickest way. Well, it technically is the quickest way to get around the circuit, but it's not the legalist way, is it, to get around the circuit? So unfortunately for Artie Wee and Gunnar, they are also out of qualifying as well. And that's qualifying 1 done and dusted, as the rain is still light at the moment, and the drivers are probably hoping that the rain stays this steady intensity so they can get out, set a time on dry tyres early off the mark in qualifying 2, so that they can so they don't have to worry and just put their feet up for the rest of qualifying 2 then, as Artie Wee comes into the pits as well. And just take a look down the comments there. We got Pillar saying, come on Becca. Sam saying, come on Gunnar. As Energetics has told me it's raining then, as Energetics hates the rain as well. 1 second between the top 18. I've got to say, very interesting indeed then. Far for said 4 lap out tires then, and in good stuff indeed. And Energetics said, what you want to say? I don't know what I want to say, to be honest. I'm not even sure if you're talking to me, Energetics, in all honesty. As I oh gosh, there we go. Anyway, yeah, I got stretched my old legs out. Of course, all these knees now in my old age there, goodness me, oh, aching knees. Right, that's the end of qualifying 1 then, and yeah, so we have lost Dead Rabbit, Artie Wee, Gunnar, and unfortunately Camera Racer are all out of qualifying then, as we are now getting into qualifying 2 in just a few moments time as well. As Gunnar is not happy there, as the rain costs him getting into qualifying 2, as he only had 1 run, didn't he? So did Farf as well, so Farf did a really good job there to get himself into 5th in the end. And I've got to say, outstanding performances there for the debutants. Liam, brilliant stuff, right up in 7th position, absolutely stunning stuff. And also for Frisky Biscuit as well, also in 10th position, out qualifying and getting quicker than a very experienced Forza. Remember, he won round 5 last time in bronze, didn't he? Last season in bronze there. So Forza, a former race winner in bronze, down in 13th position at this moment in time then. Yeah, as I was mentioning this time last season, we knew about the world champion of bronze, didn't we? And of course, that champion was that Nude Potato there, who clinched it in round 8 in France there. We have got a very long way to determine who's going to be the champion of bronze there, especially at the moment. They just seem to be tied to each other, don't they, the top 3? It's been a brilliant start to bronze there. We've had 5 race winners in the first 8 rounds so far. It's been brilliant, I gotta say. I've said brilliant too many times, but I've got to say it one more time. It has been brilliant, and goodness me. Energetic and Velocity, the men who are battling for the championship at the moment there, are less than a tenth of a second away from each other. That is 2300 of a second. They're going to be still that close together then, coming to the end of this session then. Interesting stuff, folks. Energetic has already mentioned that he's not a big fan there of the rain, is he? So that might put him on the back foot. Out qualifying, Camera Racer, Guna, RDW, and Dead Rabbit all out qualifying. Whilst Fran there making it through by the skin of his teeth. Ayrton also down in 14th position as well. As we're going to go into qualifying 2 then as well, as Pillars has said, medium, soft, medium all day around here then, as Pillars are giving us a good idea of what strategy to use then, and the rain is still light. Is it light enough for dry tyres? I reckon I would take a gamble out there, and goodness me, it definitely is light at the moment then, so they still got the dry tyres on. Lovely stuff indeed then. As Pillar is saying, I showed it last night. If you guys were watching, then Emerson saying, "Good luck, Ayrton. Good luck, Ayrton, replicating me on Sunday." And Darren said, "I did the same. Should have been third there as for Serious Westwood as well." Of course, a lot of penalties last night, wasn't there? Energetic coming on the pit lane straight away then. So we're into qualifying 2 now then, and I've got to say the rain is getting slightly heavier, isn't it? We've got a bit of rain now coming on the cameras now as well, as one of the Ferraris are doing a lovely bit of moonwalking there, going back into the pits somehow, as we're now coming out of the pits now, and this is going to be a very interesting indeed, isn't it? It really is. I'm loving this then. So in this qualifying 2 session, we're going to be losing 5 more cars then. That's 11th to 15th, and of course if you get into the top 10, you must start on the tyres which you set your fastest time on, unless you're far, of course, because if you get through on those intermediate tyres, then he will be able to get through there. Farf is actually staying on the intermediate tyres. Interesting strategy here from Farf. Farf might be onto a winner here then. Of course, Farf, a former race winner in ALR, isn't he? He's won 3 Grand Prix, hasn't he? In his storied career, hasn't he? Farf has, of course, he hasn't won a race since I think it was season 2, wasn't it? In Australia and Bahrain. He started off that season so incredible, didn't he? Farf did. Unfortunately, he hasn't hit the heights of the podium since, though. Has he? So the heights of the top side of the podium since, I should say. Energetics then I think was the first man out on the circuit. Indeed he was. He is towing. No, he isn't. I apologise. This is his teammate Gordo, who is also in the Alfa Romeo as well. Remember, Alfa Romeo got the first 1-2 in ALR bronze history, didn't they, in the Spanish Grand Prix? As a Gordo, goodness me there, and he's gone across the curve there, and I'm not sure what's happened there. We've also an invalidation. I think they've invalidated the final part of the course there, and of course if that happens there, you'll invalidate your next lap, because it's all about carrying the speed, isn't it? Both McLarens there of Mike and Newman haven't no, and they're saying out, and Farf is rolling the dice here as he's having a bit of a gamble on those intermediate tyres. He is the only man to go against the grain then, and usually when that happens you feel that person might be wrong, but you never know there. You never know indeed. Remember Paul the Rest did something similar. I think it was Belgium 2013 or 12 where it was raining. I think it was 2012 actually, wasn't it, where the rain was coming down there, and I think the rest actually started out on the intermediate tyres, where everyone else went on dry tyres, if I'm not very much mistaken. While Farf is back in the pits now. Fran is also in the pits as well. I'm surprised that not everyone is out on circuit, really, because to be honest, this is the best track positions that you're going to get if the rain just keeps getting heavier and heavier. Mike there coming out of the hairpin as well, on the back straight, which was not a back straight, was it? I think around 94, wasn't it? Goodness me, there it was a kinky straight, wasn't it? Left, right, goodness me. Now Mike coming out of the final turn as well then. Let's see what Mike can do then. He is currently faster than qualifying 2, but Newman has eclipsed him by a second there, and you felt that on that time as well. Liam on the medium tyres there. My goodness me, he's really flaunting it at the moment. Liam is, goodness gracious me, a 13.3 there. Frisky Biscuit has gone into first as well. We've got 2 really good debutants in this session. I'm loving it. They're really mixing up with the ALR bronze veterans, isn't it? Great stuff indeed then. Forza in 6th position. Curly is in 7th position. Energetics is going for now by the chair as well. So is is Ayrton as well. We've just had Mars, who's popped himself in the 7th position. Lovely stuff indeed. Renbo's invalidated her time. So has Bradfield as well. So we're going to go back into the man who's second in the World Championship. That is Energetics. We thought he was going to... the bookies were claiming that this man was the favourite for this season, but it hasn't. But I got to say, only recently has Energetics shown that kind of form, hasn't he? Because up until recently, I got to say, it's been very much who's got consistency rather than out-and-out speed so far, hasn't it? And I got to say, the consistency has been very much with velocity, hasn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed. And Mike as well. Mike has been really good, really impressive so far this season. But great to see Mike up there. Coming down into the hairpin as well, accelerating away. It is getting very much on the cusp now, isn't it? I feel that this might be one and done here in this qualifying session because it's getting very slippery out there. DRS is still enabled though, isn't it? And we're just watching Energetics and he is coming down then into the chicane then. I think it might be the first 10 that might get through here. I might be wrong. I am wrong more often than not. Ferrari have out in the pit lane for 4, so I think it was all frisky. And Energetics has gone 5th fastest one. What about Ayrton? Ayrton coming across the line. He is only 10th fastest on the soft tires. He's a 10th for a second away then. And Renbo's invalidated her time again. Oh goodness me, Renbo, who's looked so good in the first part of qualifying, it's all going wrong in the second part of qualifying with the rain coming down as it is. And that might be costly there for Renbo. On board then with Bradfield. That's costly as well for Bradfield. That is a Alfa Romeo off the circuit in the background. Farfar getting a bit of way there coming out of turn 2, isn't it? Goodness me, I'm bragging that back rear ring there. Lovely stuff indeed there as he is floating over the first chicane as well at 3 and 4. On board with Farf, yellow flag right in front of us. It is one of the Alfa Romeo cars. Of course, the Alfa Romeo, the reigning constructors champions of bronze there, as they had a very strong team, didn't they, last season, especially in the first couple of rounds. Farfar is just on the second DRS. There's 3 DRSs around the circuit, but if the rain gets heavier, we might not see the RS in the not too distant future, but I gotta say, the FIA are keeping that the race control, keeping that DRS active at the moment now, which I am loving, isn't it? Because this is about skill of man against nature, isn't it? As they come through the hairpin, Farf does, accelerates away then, and now then he is on. Now he is coming back home as well. Goodness me, and he was getting very waggy there, wasn't he? And that is usually just an acceleration zone. That is how greasy the circle is at the moment. Goodness me, there. And now as we fly up into the final part of the lap as well, then here it is, 13. 14, lovely stuff indeed as he goes underneath me, and he is coming up to the line then. Farfes, it is very greasy out there. It's not enough. He's not enough. He is out qualified at the moment. Oh goodness me, Gordo is cruising at the moment. Bradfield's invalidated this time as well, and I wonder if the track is too greasy now. Goodness me, this is not good at all, is it? This is drama here in qualifying 2 of the Canadian Grand Prix for ALR bronze, and we have got Gordo there who is giving it all kinds of way as he comes out at 14 and run board with Gordo as he comes over the grid hatches as well to start us up then. And oh goodness me, he's gone straight on there, Gordo, as he's become the fastest lawnmower, hasn't he? But Gordo is facing extinction from qualifying here tonight, and that is a shame then, as he might be out of qualifying as well. Yeah, I think there might be a bit of frustration there on Gordo's part as well. Farf is 2.5 seconds, well, 2 and 2 cents of a second down at the moment then as well. Ayrton might have gone through by the skin of his nose cone there in the Mercedes, and then I was thinking that he might have been on the perilous edge there, but on one of the track is too wet now for them to get purchased then out of the traction zones then. And on an outlap moment is Renbo at the moment now, so Renbo is keeping going. Is Gore? Has he got a puncture? Gordo has. Velocity is retired from the session. We're just taking a look to see what the Alfa Romeo driver has got a problem with. I don't think he has. I think he's Nunez retired from the session as well. So has Maz. Farf is I'm wondering, is Farf is out of fuel, isn't he? So he's coming back in the pits now then as well. And there's guys that are like they feel that this is the best. The track conditions are gone then. On board of Renbo at the moment. She is down in at 14th position at the moment then, going into turn 1 indeed then. Now into turn 2. She's on the soft compound tires there. That's the red stripe Pirelli rubber then as well. Nunez saying that Liam is right up there. Indeed he is there. Liam is fantastic. Really good stuff indeed there. Frisky biscuit as well. Hats off to both Daytons. Goodness me, great stuff indeed. Renbo there is of course Alonso clouted that curve, didn't he? And 2005 and really that was the first time that Alonso in that season made a mistake. Oh, Renbo's in the wall. Oh goodness me, that's the nose cone gone, and I think it's going to be 14 fast at this moment then. As that bit of debris there is just not getting off the car, is it? As we just got to take one of the Alpha Tauris going by as well. We had I think Fernando Alonso's been in that wall as well, the outside wall. I think that was 2008. Disqualified. Curly is disqualified from the session for driving the wrong way. Oh goodness me, he is out of the qualifying session. He will be right down in 15th position. Oh goodness me, Favre has made it through. Oh goodness me, I've got to say, Favre is getting the rub of the green, isn't he, here at the moment? Out of the qualifying session is Curly, and that is a huge shock there. Rembo then is on board with her right now, and she's got no wings at the moment, and I think she might be needing some Red Bull there. As she comes into the pits as well. Then Bradfield, as we're on board Bradfield on the soft tires as well. Then as he flies into turn 1 as well. Then and let's see what he can do. Then Bradfield, is there a sneak? Is there a? Oh, it's no. I don't think there is. I was going to say, is there a sneaky way you can get to qualifying 2? I don't. 3, I should say. I don't think there is. It's too wet out there. It's too wet there, and I think that might be done and dusted. And I got to say, I hope these track conditions stay exactly the same for qualifying 3 then, because this will be skill of the utmost, because DRS is still enabled then. I gotta say, who would try and go out on the intermediate tires there? It's such a difficult part now, isn't it? And so we got Bradfield there, who's coming into the DRS has now been disabled then, so that is it. The crossover is on then. Rembo there is now on the intermediate tires there. You still have to get a lap in, because you potentially could finish 11th here, which is a golden opportunity still the race there. Of course, they're still battling away then to determine who's going to be 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th. Curly Red is unfortunately out of this qualifying session, disappointingly as well then, as Favre said, if I go through, that'd be great then. Well, at the moment Favre wasn't going through, was he, until Curly Red for some reason or another got disqualified. Rembo has said that she has absolutely bottled it, as Serious Mushroom has said, divine intervention there for Favre. Somehow, luckily enough, he's got through. Bradfield has retired from the session. Bradfield is now on another lap as well then. This is the battle for 11th position now as well. Now the pits Cubs at Favre actually on the soft tires as well. Goodness me, look at how greasy it is. Look at that Favre shaking that from left to right. Goodness me then. And I can't remember who sung that. Wasn't it fire, air and wind or something? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that no, I think that was Let's Groove Tonight, wasn't it? I don't know. All I know is it's off I think it's off Gronk's New Groove, isn't it? I do love that cartoon. Anyway, Bradfield would probably not be interested about Gronk at all he's interested about is getting into 11th position now, because I think qualifying 3 is right out of sight now, isn't it, for the Alpha Tauri driver. And look at this, and they're still, you have to control the car and still have to adjust the settings on this. These are very fast computers, aren't they? It's incredible. Coming out of the hairpin as well then before accelerating away, and now going out to the finish line as well. Red Bull on the intermediate tires then, so we're keeping on what Red Bull can do. Gordo is on the soft tires. Favre is I gotta say, he is having some issues down the hairpin there. I can't even see where he is. Where is he? Oh goodness me, as he's doing his best Kylie Minogue impression, so we'll leave him to it. Bradfield's invalidated this time, and I think he's back in the pits. He is back in the pits then. Oh goodness me then, Gordo then. I gotta say, Gordo is keeping it on the straight and narrow at the moment. He's got to keep it on the tarmac, hasn't he? And look at that, look at him hacksawing away there. Goodness me, he looks like a lumberjack, doesn't he? He's soaring away at that wheel as he comes down into turn number 11 as well in car 12, and look at that then as well. I gotta say, these cars feel so pathetic, don't they, when you're driving on slick tires on a drying circuit. There's no grooves, are they, in these slick tires these days? Of course, there used to be groove tires in Formula 1 between 98 and 2008, didn't there, before they went back to slick tires in 2009. So Gordo is about to finish this lap as well. 2.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session then, as he comes out of the final turn, and Gordo will be 11th fastest then. That's where he finished last night. We'll be hoping to get one position higher of getting some points there for Gordo. For Red Bull coming out of the final turn as well then, and I think she'll be very disappointed really, because in qualifying 1 she was very much looking at very much on the money, and she's in 11th position as well then, so the intermediate tires are the way to go for 11th position there, and Rembo is in 11th position, so potentially if it's a dry race, there's Gordo there also cutting the grass once again. If it's a dry race later on in this session, then then of course then she will get to choose what tire she's going on as Gordo is spinning himself around. And thank you to I think it was, what's that, Michael Preston there for subscribing to us as well. We're up to 240 subscribers now. Goodness me, oh gosh, absolutely fantastic stuff. The pipe dream is 300, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, I gotta say, I thought getting to 200 I thought it was amazing. Yeah, so thank you for that, Michael Preston there for our latest subscription there. Great stuff indeed there. As Gordo there is not having the best of time out there in the Alpha Man. He is retired from the session then, and that is such a shame, isn't it? As well, and oh goodness me, as we just got Bailey Smith there. Would be me that gets disqualified then. Yeah, very disappointing there for Curly Red. I'd like to know what happened there, because apparently he was disqualified for driving the wrong way round, and I can't really see Curly Red doing that then. Michael Preston, that's Frisky Biscuit in the race, my dude. Yes, good stuff indeed there, Michael. It's great to have you along with us as well then, and I've got to say, I love your gamer tag, it's fantastic. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for the sub there, thanks for the sub there, Mike there, and I've got to say, I haven't said much in qualifying 2, but hopefully we'll see you more in qualifying 3, which we will, because Frisky Biscuit along with Liam is in qualifying 3 on their debut here in bronze as well then. Fantastic indeed. As Rempo there is well, I think just taking the scenic route back to the pits in car 22 there. Of course 22 is a synonymous number, isn't it, with the Brits there. Of course is that Lewis Hamilton won his first world championship in car 22 back in the 2008 McLaren, and then of course in 2009 it was Jenson Button in the Braun Mercedes there, who also won as well. And then a year later, Pedro de la Rosa also had that number, which I'm sure everyone who's a big old Pedro de la Rosa fan, I'm anyway. It was Pedro. I think that was Pedro's first time back in F1 since 2005, because he did stand in for McLaren, didn't he? When Montoya had that really weird tennis accent as well, and I think he did it again in 2006 actually, when they decided to call time on Montoya's career as he just wasn't really getting on with the team, wasn't he? Of course, he also caused that incident in the 2006 USA Grand Prix as well. As Red Bull then crawling back to the pits there, she's doing her best Lewis Hamilton impression. If anyone remembers 2010, I think Hamilton got pole position there, didn't he? And then, of course, he ran out of fuel, unfortunately, on his in-lap. Is Red Bull coming back into the pits now as well. And she is in 11th position then. Just say, look, then we got Gordo saying that stupid rain, they're not happy about that. As Farmer saying, gotta love dry tires in the wet, and ha 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 ha. Michael Preston saying, thank you, man, much appreciated. Great to be on board as well. Great to have you, my good man. And I've got to say, fantastic. We've also got Gordo saying, just thought I'd go for it. And of course, why not there? Because that is track position, and track position is key. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, it doesn't matter what track. Unless it's Monza, of course. There is no one wants to be in front, do they? Anyway, that's the end of qualifying too. Then I got to say, I was enjoying that. We had a bit of it was damp at the beginning there. Then it was too wet there for the dry tires, and we had some intermediates. The only person I actually got onto actually set a time on intermediate tires was Rempo, and she was starting 11th on the grid for the race coming up in just a jiffy as well. That is the beauty about Formula One ALR, is that we do qualifying and the race on the same night then as well, which is great stuff indeed. There, of course, we all love to watch qualifying, but it's the main event, is the race, isn't it? Where you're all interested in, isn't it? Good stuff indeed. Darren saying Becca's looking for Gunnar. Well, I think Gunnar probably is down the hairpin somewhere. I think there's a bar down there, isn't there? So I think that I definitely will put my money on that then. Cameron Cross there saying, come on, Maz. We've also got Becca saying, fed up with my luck. As it's been a bit of a difficult season. Red Bull has shown signs of speed there, but unfortunately, it seems to get the wrong end of the stick, doesn't she, every now and again, whether it's rain or whether it's lagging out as well, like what happened at Zandvoort as well. Liam Seaman there saying, bring on Q3 then. Good time for you along, Liam. As I assume you're Liam, yeah. As I hope you are, otherwise I'm going to look like a complete and utter moron, which I normally do anyway on here. We have also got Darren saying, good job, Liam. Yeah, great stuff indeed. Then Gordo saying, I hope I don't crash there. As Gordo is in 12th position as well. Yeah, because Gordo had a good race last night, didn't he? And the rain seems to be easing off now, but there's a lot of water now on the track, isn't there? And I think it might be intermediate tires for the start of Q3 at the very least then. But I'm wondering, the best way to dry a Formula 1 track is to have 10 Formula 1 cars out there going for pole position and for the Canadian Grand Prix. And of course, that Energetics is actually going for 3 poles in a row now, isn't he? He had pole position in Monaco and Azerbaijan. Is he going to get another pole position here in Canada? Of course, that'll be his fourth pole position this season as well. He's been brilliant, I'd say. Energetics last season was also the top pole sitter as well. His pole position ratio is incredible in bronze. Really good stuff indeed then. Our pole sitters so far this season, we had Total Peace in Bahrain, Farf in China, we had Troy in the Dutch Grand Prix, and we also had Nunda in Spain as well, which, by the way, that is still my favourite qualifying session of all time in ALR. I love that qualifying session. And Nunda there out of the woodwork and got a pole position brilliant stuff as well. Nunda, unfortunately, not here tonight. But Liam, who is, I got to say, a very good substitute at the moment, right up there in second position and on the medium tyres to start the race as well. Just to confirm, Curly Red disqualified, Bradfield at 14th, Fran 13th, Gordo 12th, and Rentbo is in 11th position as we're now into qualifying 3 then for the Canadian Grand Prix then, round number 9 then of bronze, even though it's number 8, isn't it, as Farf decided to cancel Vietnam, didn't he? He did not like it. Just as Liam saying, yeah, it's me. Thanks for the kind words. No problem at all, Liam. Yep, a very impressive start there to your ALR career as well. Gunnar saying Liam is having a great debut as well. Yep, lovely stuff, isn't it? Yeah, gotta say, I think that there's a lot of kind words at the moment, Liam. But if you carry on beating these guys, I think that the kind words might go out the window as it gets very competitive as well. Of course, I'd say it's a lot of there's good old banter in the ALR chats. I got to enjoy it, and I got to say also keep an eye out for a random cat gif or two as well, as it usually is off me, because I don't contribute to any other way apart from talking rubbish and sending cat gifts. Goodness me, I can't even talk as we're coming out of the pits now, and there's a lot of spray on the circuit. Goodness me, I was thinking about slick tyres. That is definitely not the way, is it? There is no DRS at all. It needs wet weather conditions at the moment, as we got 6 cars on track then. We have got 4 cars in the pits. Well, Maz is getting out of the way, isn't he, into the first chicane as well, and oh goodness gracious me, then this is going to get very feisty indeed. And it does examine none of that though, is he, as he is just now as he is now then on and out of Mones. We've got RDW there spamming the chat here, as he's saying he's not very good then, but RDW there, of course, I think RDW's best performance was actually in the Spanish Grand Prix, and if he didn't pit, I think he would have got some points in that race there, personally there for RDW, but of course our hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? If we all had a crystal ball, we would have done a lot of things differently. Like, I probably wouldn't have eaten that pork pie today, as we're just watching Energetics there, as he's coming out of the hairpin as well, and you can see that it's still quite hard, like, look at the heat haze coming off the track there. That's not water, I don't think. I think that is heat haze, as I'm trying to be clever. Probably cleverer than what I am there as well. As RDW said, he invalidated every lap as well. As not very, very disappointing there from RDW. But don't worry about that then. It's all about the race as well then, of course. It depends on what the weather's going to be like in the race. The Canadian Grand Prix is usually fantastic anyway, isn't it? Of course, it's one race that really shakes things up, doesn't it? And of course, not in the real world of Formula 1, but also in ALR as well. And remember, in the first ever race at ALR around here, goodness me then, the championship turned on its head, as we went from a season where it was being dominated by one man, and then another man came in the form of Nigel, really shook things up, didn't he? And of course the championship was altered from that day in history ever since there, wasn't it, from the young man Nigel, and he was the first ever ALR world champion, wasn't he, way back when as well. Goodness me, that was a long time ago indeed then, when I was still a young nipper of 30 years old then. Energetics coming out of the second chicane, and he is on a quick lap at the moment. We've got yellow flags fluttering in the first part of the course. We've got Racing Point, who is cruising and having a couple of issues then, and not having a good time at all, as we're coming down then out of the hairpin as well, and accelerating away then, and now he's on the back straight as well, as we got some rain that is really coming down now. So I don't think we're going to have to dry tyres, because it's going to be, I think it's going to be intermediates now until the end of time, isn't it? Well, until it's qualifying session anyway, and now they're coming into the final turn as well, and look at that then, Energetics edge. Oh, he's gone the power too much there. Kevin Meggs had a big old smash there in 2019. Energetics has gone fast. What about the McLaren of Newman then? He was a winner last night. Well, he's on pole position at the moment then. What about the Williams team then? We've got Velocity first, and Velocity comes through, good stuff in first position. What about Liam? Oh, he's invalidated his time so far, Liam has. What about Frisky Biscuit? He says he's also invalidated as well, and so not good at all there for the 2 debutants at the moment. Mike is in third position now in the second. McLaren first and third. Lovely stuff indeed. Well, 9 more because Forza has really rained on the parade, literally and figuratively as well. As a Velocity there, who's got the slowest time so far. Ayrton is gone across the line. He's done a 20.8, and Farf has invalidated his time twice by the looks then, and that's not good at all. Frisky's back out on circuit miles. Maz is coming in the pits. Liam has also invalidated his time as well. We're going to stay on board with Frisky Biscuit at the moment. Lovely helmet as well there for Frisky Biscuit. A bit out of the world, isn't it? I do love that Galaxy helmet there. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Really good stuff indeed then. So I adjust me headpiece again then, as I got to say, I think my head shrunk, or perhaps I'm just too sweaty and it's just falling off my head. I think it's probably the latter, isn't it? There's a Frisky Biscuit there coming down into the hairpin as well, as we got 2 Williams in front of him. That is that going to cause him any issues there? Look at the brake disc glowing there. It's fantastic, isn't it? These machines are absolutely incredible, aren't they? They are fantastic machines out there. Now, I've got to say, the beasts, aren't they, at the moment there? They're so big and they're long, aren't they? Really impressive stuff indeed there. I've got to say, I prefer the more nimble and shorter cars from probably around the 2004 era. Not many people look back at those cars with such fondness, really, as of course it was the Schumacher era, wasn't it? But goodness me, total another Ferrari. It is Frisky Biscuits who's on pole position then for the Canadian Grand Prix. He is 2/10 of a second up there, and he has found the sweet spot, hasn't he? Brilliant 17. What about Farf? Farf is invalidated again then, so he's got to go around for another by the cherry. Liam's had an issue there. He's got off in the first chicane there. Is he going to just try and continue and get a time on the board then? Out of the pits now comes Maz as well. Forza's in the pits, and Frisky Biscuit on pole position at the moment. Now, in his debut now, he is a ripping up the Ford Bookers, and he thrown it in the trash. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Liam there is just floated past me as well. And now as he comes into the second chicane as well. Lovely somebody going over the curves as well, accelerating away. Then you can see that the track is getting more and more wet now. Is there on the when you're not in the racing line, then there's starting to be standing water there, is there? As long as there's no standing water on the racing line, you should be okay then. And now we've got in front of us actually is Velocity, the championship leader, down in 5th position at the moment. His championship rival, which is Energetics, is in 3rd position at the moment as well. On board that, Energetics is just kind of dilly-dallying in the middle of the track there. But I think he was just trying to get out of the way, wasn't he? It's so difficult to get out of the way in these wet conditions there. Liam there coming out of the final turn, and let's see what he can do then. As Liam comes across the line, he goes 8 fastest at the moment. Good stuff indeed then for Liam then. Brilliant stuff from the Williams driver. What about Farf? Farf then has had 2 bites of the cherry, the same with Liam then. And let's see as he comes across the line as well. There's a lot of fuelage usage out there at the moment. A 19.4 for Farf, and he is now on pole position. Farf hasn't been on pole position there since the Chinese Grand Prix back in round 4/3. Incredible stuff indeed there for Farf. And by the whisker of margins as well, isn't it? Maz, we're back on board with Maz as well then, as he is now floating into the first part of the chicane as well and accelerating away. And now then he is coming up into the first part as well. And let's see what we can do as well then. And as Maz, I've got to say, he's looking very strong in this stage of the season, isn't he? And I wonder if Maz can really now put his dire start to the season behind him there, and really from Baku onwards get himself in the points there more often than not. Then Energetics is still out on the course at the moment, and Energetics has gone fastest as well there, a 19.1 there. And I think I just seen a comment about yesterday's pole position. I'm sure he's a 19.4 or no, I think it's a 19.1, wasn't it? If I'm not very much mistaken out there. Oh, I remember, I think I'm sure it was a 19.1 there, because Dan was almost a second in front at this stage of proceedings, wasn't he? He was incredible. Oh, Liam, yeah, it's now on pole position. An incredible time there for Liam, and the debutant once again is really ruffling the feathers, isn't it? 2 debutants have an incredible race here in qualifying. Fantastic stuff indeed there. The pits comes Velocity then. Velocity has dropped down in 7th position at the moment then. We have got a well, sorry, I almost swallowed my tongue there. We've got a Mercedes in the pits as well. We've got Farf who is cruising back to the pits as well. Farf was on pole position when he started that lap. Well, he ain't anymore. He's down in 3rd position at the moment now. And the track conditions are moving all the time. It's like a moving goalpost. If you can think about that in football, goodness me, it's difficult to score a goal the best of times. But when there's a moving goalpost like we got here tonight on the track there, because it's getting wetter, isn't it? Where you got to keep finding the dry line, or keep finding the best line as well. The less slippery line. 3 10 Mike has definitely found something there. He's 3/10 of a second up there in the second sector. Lovely stuff indeed there as he accelerates that as well. As look at the off racing line at the moment there. Is getting very wet out there, isn't he? He's now back on board then with Mike. Then he is coming up to the line as well. He's done a 20.5 so far. So he's taking it very cautiously through the final chicane then. But sometimes slower is better, more accurate is better, isn't it? And let's see what it does on the timesheets. That's much better. He is now an old McLaren, row 3. Great stuff indeed then. And the man who's on pole position is now coming into the pits. Liam, of course, you regular viewers of Bronze there. Liam is coming, ripped up the form book, hasn't he? Goodness me. And a really good stuff indeed there. Newman there, of course, who another man who's there's a lot of new talent coming through Bronze, isn't it, at the moment? I'm loving this. And now Newman is currently on a quick lap at the moment. Mike, I think, is also having another bite to share as well. Velocity, and we got Maz out there as well. So yes, there is a lot more shenanigans still to come in this incredible race so far. I've got a lot of capitals on my screen at the moment, and I think I've just read Frisky is a weapon. I think I love that. As Frisky is a weapon, Frisky is a beast. He takes the podium. We're going to have a feast. Oh, I love a feast. As Newman coming out of the final turn as well then. As we got Deadshot as well. Come on, lads, keep up the good work. Brilliant stuff indeed then. As I look at Newman there, he's still 5th fastest at the moment there, and he's only a whisker better than what he was before. Ayrton, I think, is just now emerging back out the pits as well. Got yellow flags there on the back straight, and look at that rain there. It is getting heavier now then. I think this might be the right time then, isn't it, to really get a time in. And there's a Farf. I've lost. No, Farf is not in the red car tonight, is he? He's in the yellow car. As we got McLaren there just cruising back to the pits. Oh, Velocity there into the final turn as well. We're on board there with the championship leader, Velocity, as he accelerating out of the final turn. Let's see what Velocity can do. And he is as third fast at the moment. He's a 10th of a second away from his teammate at the moment. His teammate is stealing all the headlines from the championship leader at the moment. Incredible stuff from Liam. Brilliant stuff indeed. They're Frisky out on track at the moment. Newman's having a couple of issues then. What about Maz? Maz is 4 seconds down then, so he's going to have another go as well. And he's got about 2 more laps to go. Now, it doesn't even include fuel, does it? Frisky has had a so-so first sector there, hasn't he? I don't think that's going to be really writing home anything at the moment, is it? Back on board then with Frisky. What about the final? Oh, he's 5/10 of a second down there in the second sector as well. We've got a Williams pointing the wrong way. It's a Velocity who has had an issue there, hasn't he? And I think that will be in the Velocity's challenge for pole position. I think indeed it is. Energetics has now started his lap as well. Farf is also on the course as we're on board with Farf now. Mike is retired from the session and he is down in 7th position at the moment then. We got Frisky then, who is going after, this is his last attempt now from Frisky. Can he get himself back on pole position there? Really good stuff indeed there from the Ferrari driver then. And now then, here we go then, it's all or nothing then. Newman is back out on a course as well then. Maz there is a 10th for a second up in the second intermediate split time. Lovely stuff indeed. Ayrton is also out on the course as well, and I gotta say it's a very busy out there at the moment. On board with Farf, I think he's going to be the first man to cross the line then, and here he comes down into the chicane then. He hops over the chicane as well. Yellow flag for Energetics is out. Energetics is out, and he's on a problem there at the exit second chicane then. Farf is only 4th fastest there. He hasn't improved, and it's the weather too wet now. What about Maz? No then, Maz is having the 7th fastest then, so he's improved by 4/10 of a second as well. Newman there is coming out of the hairpin. He is on the back straight as well. He's the last of the McLarens out there. Mike is out of qualifying. Energetics is out. Velocity is out as well. Someone is going to grab the brass ring, and who is it going to be then? Here comes Newman as well then. Newman's there but on pole position in bronze. He has had a race win last time out there. He is broken through the glass ceiling back in Baku. Let's see what he's going to do here. He is in 6th position in the end then. We got Liam, who is just coming into the pits as well. Frisky is finished as... Oh, Frisky's left for session! Frisky's left for session! What's going on with Frisky? And we got... Forza just finishing off his lap as well. We're on board with Ayrton then. Ayrton 10th fast at the moment. Ayrton is now 9th fastest. A whisker away from Ayrton at the moment. Goodness gracious me then. And incredible stuff indeed then. It's just on board then. Becca said Energetics has absolutely binned it in the wall then. And Bailey Smith, oh, tyres off then. As unfortunately Energetics said it's only going to be on the front row. But it's going to be Liam, yeah, on his debut. He's got the pole position by 9 thousandths of a second. Or else here comes Forza. Forza goes 7th fast. passes it in the end then. And that is the end of qualifying here for the Canadian Grand Prix. But it's Liam Yeh who can't even celebrate his pole position now on circuit because he is in the garage then. But what a time there. Liam is on pole position then for his debut here in bronze. And goodness me, that form book, rip it up. Incredible stuff there from Liam Yeh. And I gotta say, that is definitely a well done indeed there from Liam. Ooh, and I think that's actually Williams is doing really well in the old qualifying performance stakes at the moment, isn't he? As I think Nunda has had a actually I haven't said that. Nunda has is the only other Williams to be on pole position so far. His Velocity hasn't been on pole position yet this season, which I find quite incredible. There, the championship leader then. Just say, look there, Liam Seaman there saying I could have done an 18.8 there, but invalidated then. As Darren said he got frisky, he'll be back in 5. Love it. Oh, look at that, 9 thousandths of a second separates Energetics, and 89 thousandths of a second separates Liam and Velocity. That is how tight it is at the top there. Lovely stuff indeed. Farf in 4th position there. 5th is Frisky Biscuit. Hopefully he can get back in the session. Newman in 6th position. 4th to 7th. Mars is 8th. Mike is in 9th position, and Ayrton completes the top 10 then for the Mercedes-Benz team then. Lovely stuff indeed then. As Energetics said, Lee just said I lost traction after turn 1. I was already 2/10 up by then. As the track was improving then. But Gordo's asked his biscuits in the session then. No, unfortunately not at the moment. Oh, look at that! We got a beautiful bit of sunshine there. It is completely different, night and day, isn't it? From from what it was literally about a couple of minutes ago in qualifying. Absolutely lovely stuff indeed then as well. Then right, that is we are now then getting into. We are now then getting into the race itself as well. As the countdown is on, the final countdown is on. I'm about to sing Europe as Frisky Biscuits has been kicked. If someone could invite him back in, that'd be absolutely fantastic stuff. Farf, that's you. So hopefully someone could get him back in the not too distant future, because we want Frisky Biscuit back in. And we've also got Liam there saying it was very tight indeed. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Liam could do there. If we can get Frisky back in then before the end of the formation, that'll be good stuff indeed then. But I'm hoping that he's back in the session. Is that the Ferrari's on the grid? And I think Frisky Biscuit is on the grid then. Lovely stuff indeed. Well done, Farf, and well done everyone else as well if they helped out then. Let's go for the grid, shall we, from front to back. So we've got 20 cars. Troy, who is on pole position in the Dutch Grand Prix, is now right to the back then in the second Haas car. But we got 35 laps around here, so this is going to get very good indeed then. And as we're on board as well then. So here we go then as well. Curly Red's been disqualified from the session twice. Goodness me, twice in one day, Curly. Oh gosh. Anyway then, Liam, this is first time that we've seen him in bronze in ALR, and goodness me, now he is ripping up the form book, isn't he? He's on pole position then for the first time in his first ever race in ALR. Fantastic stuff indeed. That Schumacher-esque, isn't it? Well, almost Schumacher-esque. And I think Jacques Villeneuve-esque more, isn't it? Really, Villeneuve was on pole position for the first time in his career, and that's quite up to Jacques Villeneuve. This is home Grand Prix, isn't it? Energetics is alongside him on row 1. This is going to be good. Velocity is in 3rd position with Farf in 4th then. The top 4 on the medium compound tyres then. 5th position is at Frisky Biscuit, who is going quite pedestrian-like under the pedestrian bridge then. 6th position is Newman. 7th is the second Ferrari Forza. Mars is in 8th position there. Mike in 9th position, and Ayrton completes the top 10 in the Mercedes as well. 11th position is Renbo. 12th position is Gordo. 13th position is Fran. 14th and 15th is Bradfield and Curly Red. Dead Rabbit in 16th. Arlie Wee is the first of the hard compound runners in 17th position. Gunnar 18th. Cameron 19th. And Troy is 20th position as well. Frisky is left for session again then. And oh goodness me, and he's keeping it very tight now, isn't he? And it looks like he cannot get control of his car, and that is such a shame there from Michael Preston there, isn't it? Because I got to say, he's been brilliant in this session so far, as is this man Liam, and Noonda there is cheering him on there. Liam on pole position. Velocity, what's happening? As I got to say, I don't think Velocity's had a pole position this season, has he? His 2 teammates have, Noonda and Liam, but Velocity hasn't so far then, as now they're lining up on the grid there, and I don't think we can get Mike back in the session there, unfortunately, Frisky Biscuits. That is such a shame there. Frisky Biscuits qualifying 5th 5th on his debut there, and he's been robbed, hasn't he, of a start in ALR. What a shame there, as we're on board as well then, as this is Troy, who is lining up 20th and last on the grid then. Here we go then, we're waiting for the lights then, as now then, there they are then, as Frisky Biscuit is back in the session, and he's still a ghost at the moment then. Let's see if he can get control of the car now then, as we are waiting for those lights. There they are, we got 3, we got 4, we got 5, and we are going Montreal now, and it's a terrible start from Energetics, and Farf has flown away. Farf has gone off the grid, absolutely mighty, and he takes the lead. Second position is Liam, and we have got we got third position there of the second Williams as well. There's a terrible start from the Williams of Velocity, and now we got Mike who's in third position there. We got Newman in fourth position as well. No, we have Energetics in fourth position there as he is struggling. Bradfield is up into fifth. Well, Bradfield's had a fantastic start, hasn't he? And now we got the second. Look at this, and oh goodness me, he's flying past me. Look at these cars, and all 20 cars and flying past me as they come into the first chicane. Oh, I should say second chicane. Oh, there's a Toro Rosso then that was facing the wrong way, but it's dead rabbit now. So, oh goodness me! And look at this, we got debris coming off the cars, and there's a free abreast up front then. Oh goodness gracious me then, and now we've got Troy there, who is banging wheels as well then, as we've got 2 racing points are currently red, and Matt's also all over the back of each other as well. We've got Fran there, and look at the side actually, and Bradfield is siding down the inside. Oh, contact them, 3 into 1, don't go down there. Oh goodness gracious me. Oh no, Troy's had a problem in this collision. Troy is out of the race, he's out of the Canadian Grand Prix. That's Fran who's gone the wrong way as well. Troy hasn't really, it's only turned about 10 corners and he's already out of the Canadian Grand Prix. What a shame there for Troy, and a 5-second penalty there for the 2 Red Bulls have come to blows as well. Oh dear. As Farfair has gone from 4th to 3rd. It's gone from 3rd. No, from 4th to 1st there. Incredible stuff. Just waiting to see if Frisky Biscuit can get control of his car. Farfair's leading. Liam is second now. We've got severe. Oh, goodness me. As we got severe collisions there as they coming into the pits as well. Both Mercedes are. Oh, who is that? And Dead Rabbit there is just parked on the finish straight here. I'm not sure what's happened to Dead Rabbit. Ayrton coming out of the pits, and he's down. He was 10th position. He's now dropped down into 16th position as well. Gunnar there is changing those tyres there on the Red Bull, and we've just got Fran coming out of the pits as well. Fran has actually jumped in front of Gunnar. Sorry, as Energetics is just saying, Farford's a jump in the start there. We didn't see it on the, we seen him there making a lightning start there, didn't we? So, yeah, it's got might to be investigated, because it looks like Farf had a demon start, didn't he? But Energetics is saying he didn't have any lights either there. The championship leader down, there's man who's saying the championship down into 6th position at the moment as well then. Interesting stuff here in the Canadian Grand Prix. It's all gone off here at the moment. Darren saying, wow, 5 into the airpin, incredible stuff indeed then. Energetics, his lights might have went out earlier as well, as Nunda there is really fanning the flames there, isn't he, in the comments there. Good stuff indeed then. Out 5 positions is Curly Red, down 9 positions is Frisky Biscuit, but he hasn't got in his car yet, has he? Ayrton also down a few positions as well. Let's go on board with Frisky. Is he back? No, he ain't. Frisky, oh, what a shame there for Frisky. And I gotta say, that is such a shame there, because I was really looking forward to see what Frisky can do, because up until this point in the race so far, he's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he? Right, we've got a safety car already, and Troy out of this race literally only turned 10 corners in this session. Is he out? He joined late on, didn't he? And I think it was a late replacement there for the Gore, and unfortunately didn't get very far at all, did he? Turns into this race. He is out of this race already. I know he got a Dead Rabbit, and who has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He is coming in now. We've got Red Bull Mechanic out. His camera race is Dead Rabbit's in the pits. Changing nose cone as well. Camera racer in the pits on the hard tyre. And this might be a strategical call here. Of course, why are they it's just as a strategical call, isn't it? Because they might be changing those tyres, so they don't have to come in the pits again now. Well, not again. Then they have to come in the pits again, but of course they'll be not on the not so preferred hard tyre, will they? Which we've seen in the last 2 races. The hard tyre, especially last night, was absolutely appalling, wasn't it? Really, and the hard tyre didn't last no longer than the medium tyre, really. So you might as well just stay on the mediums. Having said that, RDW is the only man on the hard tyre at the road end, but let's see what RDW can do in at 13th position as well then. So we're on lap 3 then in this race already. We've had a safety car right from the get-go here, and very interesting stuff indeed. As I just say, look, then is Nunda in this serious rush now, and a good old chat in the comments. I think it's about Claude Van Damme, isn't it? What a legend he is, Claude Van Damme. I got to say, I think he was in a good film called AWOL as well. If anyone was interested in that, then I do love a good 90s, 80s, and 90s action film. There, Die Hard and all that kind of stuff. That's the safety cars in the end of this up. Then enough about John McClane. We are going to get racing here again in Canada as they are now weaving from left to right. Frisky is back in the session. Can he get control of his car? And I'm wondering if he didn't get control of his car there, because by the time he got onto the grid there, it was too late. I'm hoping I'm wrong about that. I am nearly wrong more often than not there. As I'm now just on board as well. Nunda saying he's only just started studying F1 since last year as well. So we're now then coming up into the Ayrton's got a 5-second penalty for it's the clash of the teammates tonight, isn't it? Goodness me, Red Bulls have come together now. Both McLaren, Mercedes have as well. As Fran and Ayrton cut the blues. We're back racing here in Montreal. It's Liam there has had a okay start there, but the McLaren is all over the back of him then as it comes through then to complete up as we have got Mercedes in the pits as well then as they it's goodness me, there's Mike has gone up the inside then. I gotta say it's lovely and sunny out there at the moment. It's some beautiful stuff then here in Montreal then as well as we're coming into the first chicane then as on board now then with Newman as well, last week's race winner in the Baku, and he fancying some more, isn't he, here tonight, some more heroics, and he is in a 4th position of Velocity down in 5th position as well then Energetics in 6th and 4th to 7th. Rempo is up to 8th, fantastic. Gordon in 9th Gordo in 9th position, and Curly in 10th position as well. Good stuff from the Curly, who had a disqualification in qualifying for pointing the wrong way by the sounds of it. So we're just watching the two McLarens there. We're getting very interested in each other, aren't they? As I wonder if it's going to be a bit team order as well at the moment. And Mike is in front of his teammate in the Drivers' Championship, isn't he, of Newman? So of course then they have to think about that in terms of the championship order as well, isn't it? As we have got yellow flags as Artie Wee is flying down the order there. I think he's done the Kimi Räikkönen as he's gotten the power too early there, and he is dropping down the order as well. Fran is coming to pits and far for leading there, but he's not on DRS yet from Liam, who's on a crate race, isn't he? Absolutely fantastic race. Fast start the race is set by far for the moment then as he is 2nd position, Mike in 3rd position, 4th position at the moment is Newman. Velocity is in 5th position, 6th position is Energetics, and as I say, come over the crest of the hill as well as it looks like Mike is starting to drop back. Curly Red has got past Gordo dropping on the outside there and down into 10th position as well. Red Bull has got a 3-second penalty. Goodness me, she's all back and forth at the moment. Goodness gracious me, as they're now coming into the first chicane as well. Artie Wee has got a penalty as well. They're nip and tuck, and at this stage of proceedings, this is fantastic, isn't it? And the two McLarens are very in close company as well as on bar with Newman at the moment, and look at this, there's a Mike there is going on the inside there. Is he defending or is he feathering off the throttle to let him through that? I think Mike was letting him through that, and I think that's very good team play there from the McLaren team. They've been brilliant, haven't they? They are chasing down the Williams team at the moment then, and with Liam, they're having a strong performance in this race so far. I gotta say then the Constructors Championship is going to be vitally important, isn't it? As they are now coming to complete a lap 5 in this race as well. They've got a Renault leading this race at the moment then, but Williams and McLaren are very much nip and tuck, and Gordo is dropping down the order then, as he is now down in 10th position as well. Liam has set the fast half of the race and is really starting to put the squeeze on Farf, who is leading this race at the moment as they come over the grid actions once again. And Bradfield then is we've got another man in the pits. Is Camera Racer in the pits as well. Rempo all over the back and forth. Is she going to get better traction as we take a look under the trees? Not quite yet then. And now then is Mike has let his teammate through then of a Newman, and he's now going to go after him. So Mike, good team play there from both for the McLaren team, loving that. So we got Liam who's now putting the squeeze on Farf as well. Velocity, the championship leader, he's not only aiming for the constructors, he has to be aiming for the drivers championship as well. Camaro's in the pits, that is, he's got on a set of hard tyres by the looks of that graphic there on the left hand side. On board there with the championship leader, which is Velocity at the moment. He is 6/10 of a second back. In the background is Energetics. There we have a Ferrari, there we have a Haas as well. It's all nip and tuck, isn't it? And as Nuda's booing, I think team swaps. I think by the looks of that, I couldn't see the what he said there because I just said a lot of O's. And look at this, and Velocity then is very much coming underneath the rear wing of Mike. But nothing doing just yet, and he was a bit too far back. I know someone who isn't too far back at all. It's Liam, and Liam there is going to go on the outside. He's going on the outside. He takes Farf. He takes the lead. Liam does, but he's got a bit wide. Farf is back on the outside, and he is back through as well. Velocity has also got past Mike as well. And I've got to say, that was very much calm before the storm, wasn't it? And Velocity is now past Mike, and is now in 4th position as well. We've got a lot of Dyson in the background as well, and Mike's got a 3-second penalty. And he is now all over the back of Velocity. He wants to get by as quickly as possible. Oh my goodness me! I thought that he was going steaming into the side of the championship leader there. Not quite at all then. Now Velocity is having the 4th position as they go wide once again, and Energetics is now also joining the party as well. Liam there, of course, having to go into the... Oh my goodness me! And he was given a bit of a squeeze there from Energetics as well. Forza is... Brent Bow is through and passes Forza, and now we've got another ball as well. I'm not sure where to look. We're going to look here for now then. Renbo's in the middle, and Forza's on the inside then. Renbo has given him just about a whisker, and that's all he needed then. But Renbo is over the 7th position. Good manoeuvre. And now Energetics is in front of us as well, and there is Energetics. He is all over the back of the McLaren then as well. As this is they coming down the hill as well. Incredible stuff, man. And he is going to go. Mike is on the inside. Oh, looking at the inside front there. Fantastic. The Ferrari of Forza is back past Renbo. Ayrton is moved over to 11th position as well. Incredible stuff, man. And it is impressive stuff. And now Energetics is past Mike, and he has moved up into 5th position. No, he hasn't, because Energetics is back down into 6th position. And yes, good so indeed. Mike has now always gone wide though. Energetics has gone up and under. He passes Mike. He's got the inside. Lovely stuff indeed there from Energetics. For brilliant stuff indeed, and great driving up and down the field. I'm loving that. And look at these guys that are coming through turn 5 and 6. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Energetics is now in. Has he got the pace now to get up to the championship leader? There he is. That's his target. Mike is really strong on those soft tires. Look, Mike is already in the clutch of the 4. Wow, of Forza. That's impressive stuff. And he's going to go on the outside. Amazing stuff indeed. And it's I gotta say, I had a bit of a rubbish camera angle there from both cars. And Renbo is back in front and back up into 7th position. Brilliant stuff there, and great driving indeed up and down the field. Then I'm loving that then. Oh gosh, it's a Forza there. I thought he did the Kimi right in there. I thought he got on the power too early. That's absolutely amazing stuff. It's a great driving. Hats off. I applaud you. I have tipped my hat off to you guys. Really good stuff indeed then. And now Renbo is now going to give Mike something to be concerned about. We're having a look down into the chicane as well. As Forza is in the pits, and he is the first of the front runners to come in the pits. And Edwin's got a penalty as well, but it looks it's a 3-second penalty. Look at these queue of cars now as well. As now Gordo is coming back up through the field as well. We're back on board there with Curly at the moment. Now Mike is struggling out there. I'm wondering if those soft tires don't look to be very healthy at the moment, do they? Velocity is now all over the back of the 2nd McLaren of Newman at the moment. And and Curly Red there understeered into the wall there, didn't he? And that has damaged the car. Gordo's fastest up then the race as well then as they come into the first sector. Look at that, and look at these cars. Goodness me. And oh gosh, Curly Red damaging the car then. That is going to really hurt him, isn't it? Back with Velocity then, who is now really all over the back then of Newman as well. Newman, I've got to say, really pulled away there, didn't they, from that cheering the cars there, which might have helped McLaren then. But now it's But now then it's Newman, Newman then, who is now being the hunted rather than the hunter as well. Troy has left the session now, so unfortunately he is out of this Canadian Grand Prix. And we're back on board then with Velocity as well. Lovely stuff indeed there. Newman's got a very high speed McLaren, hasn't he? He's on the soft tires. I think the guys on the soft tires are really strong at the moment. Liam is really got some pace, hasn't he? And oh goodness me, and then into the pits there comes Rentbow and Curly Red as well then. They are both in the pits there simultaneously as well. Velocity, there it is, the pit window is open for anyone who's on the soft tires then, and this is a 2-stop strategy. Velocity, oh goodness me, almost into the wall there, and I've got to say that's a good save there for Velocity, but unfortunately now he has got Energetics up behind him, and Velocity, they're going the power too much there, and almost into the wall. Incredible stuff here in the Canadian Grand Prix. Gordo is flying out there at the moment, isn't he? He is staying fastest up after fastest up in 13th position, I think he is. No, he's 14th at the moment now. We're now back on board then for Energetics as well. 5 seconds, 5 tenths of a second back is Bradfield, and Bradfield is making a steady move back up the field as well. Great stuff indeed then. And oh goodness me, he's got a lot more perch there on those soft tires there, and it looks that's incredible, isn't it? It looks like some guys got soft tires in very nicely. The others haven't. McLaren are really strong at this stage of proceedings, aren't they? And now Dead Rabbit's got a 3-second penalty as well. And goodness me then, as Bradfield that door was shutting, wasn't it? Ayrton, and we got Maz also as well. Dead Rabbit is out of the race race then, and he has gone off there where Panis had a big old shut. Now we've got a safety car. That's the second safety car in this race at the moment then. As I'm just taking a look then. Yeah, see, oh goodness me, on the outside, Dead Rabbit then. I'm not sure there. Of course, we got a big smash there between Stroll and Brendan Hartley, I think it was. So yeah, but that's an interesting place to crash there. Farf and Liam have really caught up to the safety car quite quickly, as is Energetics and Velocity as well. Ayrton and Gunnar hasn't come to the pits there. Gunnar up to a fantastic 6 there. Newman coming out of the pits there. He's on the hard tyres. Bradfield also out of the pits as well. And look at this then. So the people that come in the pits and a lap before that, are they going to be quite happy with this then? And look at this then. And look, as that is Bradfield there coming out behind Rentbo. Rentbo in 10th for the 9th position, and Gordo is goodness me, Gordo is I think that's it. I think it's the safety car, my good man. Now we got Mike in 12th position, Mars in 13th. Camera racer there, of course, who was looking lost at sea originally, but now then he is coming back through the field as well. Cameron's a curious racer, isn't he? Seems to be quick, doesn't he? But unfortunately, seems to always be at the bad looks, drinking the last man standing salute kind of thing, doesn't he? Unfortunately, he seems to always have bad luck. I think that's Frisky Biscuit actually in this race at the moment, and I hope that is the case. So it looks like he has a solid car. So yeah, that is good stuff indeed. If Frisky Biscuit has finally got control of his car, and this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? So good stuff indeed for Frisky Biscuit. So at the moment we've got these guys who are stuck behind the safety car. Are they going to pit now, or are they going to stay out then? The only man on the soft tarts at the moment is actually Mars in the racing point then. I know just on board then is Farfetch. Is he going to go straight on then? No, he stays out. But I think, is that Liam coming in the pit set? No, yet. No, all staying out then. No, then Liam is coming into the pit set. I was looking at the wrong in the wrong Williams as well. As Darren has said, Brendan Hartley's the Peter Crouch of F1. I got to say, I think Peter Crouch is a great striker for England, definitely. Anyway, as soft tires going on for Liam then, and look at how much time he has lost there because they caught up to the safety car. He has dropped right behind. Goro's got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision there on the back of Bradfield. He was looking very keen, wasn't he? And look at how where Liam is there. He's dropped down to 13th position now because he caught up to the safety car. As it looks like that they're going a bit slower than normal around here at the moment, aren't they? But Liam now coming out in 30th position, just in front of the Renault and the 2 Red Bulls. And as you can see then, got a bit, I'm not sure what's going on here between Maz and Gordo here. It's getting a bit feisty over there, isn't it? In the middle part of the course there as well, and he's positioned his car in a very awkward position, isn't he? So yeah, as a Mike has got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags there. And I'm not sure what's going on there then, but it was getting very close, getting too close for comfort there, wasn't it? As just now on board then is Mike then is, I'm wondering then if Bradfield somehow got in front of him because of that. He tried to get back past him. I wonder if it might just be a little glitch there from Codemasters there, which is a bit unfortunate to say the least, isn't it? Then that is the safety car's in the end of this lap then as well. Newman is pitted, and he is the highest man to pit in 5th position on those hard tires, and this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? As we are now to get back racing in the Canadian Grand Prix. Farfetch is the safety car, is taken over from the safety car. There's a lot of talk, wasn't there? A lot of chatter about the safety car. Restarts after Mugello on a Sunday, wasn't it? Goodness me. And of course the Ferrari 1000, I've got to say that was a cracking race, wasn't it? And once again Mike and Bradfield are again swapping positions, as is Liam and RDW as well. And look at this, and Velocity does not want to let Farf go through the top 3 in the oh my goodness me, that's what's happening in the background for Red Bull. There's collision, there's chaos in the midfield. Oh no, that's not good at all. Red Bull's trying to come in the pits there. Oh goodness me, we're not sure what happened there, but under the safety car it's all gone wrong, similar to Mugello actually, is there, where he's the back of the pack, and Mike has got another 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags as well. Ayrton is now down in 5th position now, as up into 4th there goes Newman as well then. I'm not sure what happened in the safety car, but that was an appalling start there. It really was indeed then. It's goodness gracious me, as we're just on board, and Rempo in the pits, Gordo in the pits as well, as it looks like as them two really came to blows there, didn't they? That was unfortunate there in the middle of the park there. Oh, lovely shot here. We're just looking at Ayrton's nose cone out of the Mercedes and in the background, and you see just behind Ayrton there is a red Ferrari. Oh, it's Ayrton now. He's got a much better perch there, isn't it? Liam, yeah, is now up in the 10th position as well. He is coming to the pits, hasn't he? I remember that last night there, the traffic didn't hurt the leaders too much, did they? Locking up there as Ayrton there has done 11 laps on these medium tires. He came in the pits quite early on, didn't he, Ayrton did? So he's about on the same strategy as the guys in front. RDW has got past Bradfield in number 2 position, or they have swapped back around, I should say, because goodness me indeed. Bradfield is now up into 11th position, and look at this, as Gunner's also past RDW, and up into 12th position, well, Gunner on the soft tires as they come into the chicane then, and oh goodness me, there's contact, RDW is in the World Champions, and oh gosh, there as well, and yellow flag in sector 3 then is that Frisky Biscuit there, is just onto the back as well. I think he's just gonna take his time in the fry as well then, so I think the Gordo and Rembo are probably going to be hoping for some kind of a safety car then, as unfortunately they are now on the back foot as well. So RDW then is dropping now down, isn't he, as he has got issues there, hasn't he, RDW, and the Renault as well. And this is the battle for the lead then as well. Then. So Froth's got a second gap over Velocity, and then Energetics is 7 tenths of a second back. Then we've got Newman, who is 8 tenths of a second back at the moment. He's on those hard tyres, and those hard tyres haven't performed too well. Oh, the races have they so far in ALR, but let's see what Newman can do in the McLaren then. We've got Ayrton, who is now under the pressure now from Mike as well, as we're on board of him as he now comes into the hairpin as well before accelerating away then, as he's now on the back straight as well as Darren's asked. Was there a safety car last night in silver? I can't remember. I don't think there was actually, was there? I don't think there was. Now then, as Mike has got past and moved up into 5th position, and to drop down to 6th position. He's got a 3-second penalty for his troubles as well as he come out of that chicane as well. We've got 2 racing points actually, looking very strong there as well. DRS has now been enabled, hasn't it? As that Force has gone up the inside, contact there. Oh, and now then it's again. Oh, and goodness me, Mazda using Force as a bit of bearing run there. Oh my goodness me, it's getting very tense, isn't it? Oh gosh, as they come into the turn 3 and 4. Goodness me then, Mazda striking whilst the iron's hot there. Oh gosh, and really using that racing point now as a good old battering ram, isn't he? And now he's through them forwards. So he's on his back foot at the moment, but it feels like Curly Red is. Oh goodness me, look at that! Look at Leo there flying past this incredible manoeuvre. He just had so much road purchase on that Williams, didn't he? And he's now up into 9th position. Mars has got past Ayrton as well. Ayrton is dropping back now. Lovely shot from the Mercedes. I'm loving that. And now we got in the background is Liam as well. Of course, Liam, the pole sitter there in the rain. Doesn't matter rain or shine, does it? He is a look. Oh, lovely shot here. Look at this. And Forza there on the outside. Oh, I commend that. That's brilliant. And he is now up into 8th position. Liam is. I gotta say, I'm raving for this debutant. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then up into 3rd position now is that Newman. Energetics has dropped down to 4th position. Is he going to have a look going into the chicane? No, he isn't, because Ayrton is coming into the pits. Very sensible indeed then. And yeah, Newman now is up into 3rd position, and so he is now got now he now found his feet, found his tires, and he is now on his way as well. Lovely stuff indeed. Then we're back on board with Newman at the moment. He's 1.1 seconds away then. Energetics is 4th, Mike is 5th, 6th is Marston, but we've got the man who's on pole position, who is now really riveting reaping the benefits of coming into the pits early. And let's see how this plays out for him now. Really good stuff indeed then. Fantastic stuff. Sam has said Sam's impressed by the looks of Liam picking them off one by one. He's doing a fantastic job, isn't he, the debutant? Ayrton on the hard tires, and he is near the back of the field as well. As here he's come out next to RDW as well. And Liam there is all over the back of Maz at the moment. This is great stuff indeed there. I got to say, this is impressive performance, isn't it, from Liam? Really well done indeed then. Of course, the man making this debut tonight. Remember, so is Frisky Biscuit as well. Frisky Biscuit, unfortunately, having connection issues. I believe he is in the race now, and he is now starting to make his way up through the field as well. He's behind at Fran at the moment. Energetics is dropping back there. He's struggling in a straight line, isn't he? And Favre's got a 3-second penalty. Leo is now back up into 6th position now as well. Good stuff from Liam as he is carving his way through the field like a hot knife through butter. As Energetics then, of course, dropping down, and he's lost position to both McLarens now, hasn't he? Really incredible stuff indeed. Then both McLarens looking very strong. Also on new shod medium tires as well, and they're the highest of the runners that have pitted already, haven't they? Farf is just in front of us, and there's Farf, there is Velocity, there is Newman then, as they are all in the same frame shot as well. RDW has got past Ayrton in the battle for 15th and 16th as well. This is incredible stuff indeed then, and yeah, brilliant stuff indeed. All you guys are loving Liam in the comments. comments there. Fantastic stuff there. As Nunda is saying, yeah, go on the son, Team Liam. Brilliant stuff indeed there. As Nunda is flying the flag for Team Liam at the moment, there, isn't it? He is now less than 2 seconds away from Energetics, the man who is second in the World Championship as well. And here are the top 4, top 5, and there's the Expedition as well. It is very close indeed. Look at these cars there. Lionel Stern as well. We're coming up to half distance in this race, and once again in bronze. Who knows who's going to win then? This is great, isn't it? Bronze is, I gotta say, it's so good, isn't it? It's like Formula 1 2012, isn't it? In bronze, it's all over the show, and I love it. And look at this, and it's Farfus now, and going to be feeling the pressure of Newman, because Newman, the race winner of last time out, is now takes the lead in the Canadian Grand Prix. He paired under a safety car. He is on it, new hard tires, and he's making that work. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then he has passed Farf. He moves up into the lead as well. As Bradfield is in the pits, done 6 laps on those medium tires. Something's happened to Bradfield, I feel, and that's not good, is it? And look at this as well. Then they fly through the first part of the course as well, and here they are. Farf is really strong for pace at this stage of proceedings, isn't he? Really, the longer this race going on, Farf is strong, isn't he? They've done 17 laps on the medium tire. So is Velocity, and so has Energetics as well. The top 3 in the World Championship are also the top 3 of tire usage as well at this stage of proceedings, and it's very interesting. That who knows what strategy is going to be like then. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then as Sam is cheering on, Sam is cheering on Newman to get to Farf out of the way, as that was his comments there in the old comment section as well. Lovely stuff indeed. Then Frisky Biscuit, good race, good race horse name as well. It is indeed down there. I've got to say, he's also starting to really tear up the tarmac as well. Liam is up into 5th position. He passes Energetics, and there it is, and that is confirmation. Liam is now up into the top 5. He's having a really fantastic race, isn't he? And look in the background, and look in the foreground, look everywhere. I don't even know where to look. Mike is up in the 3rd position. He passes the championship leader Velocity, and now he is up into 3rd position. Fantastic performance there for the McLaren driver. Velocity is down in 4th position now. He's got his substitute teammate Liam, who's in 5th position, the super sub. He is doing a fantastic job. We're on board then with the man. I keep saying it, he's making his debut tonight, and Frisky Biscuit. I gotta say, these two are fantastic, aren't they? Goodness me. Frisky Biscuit there on the back foot because he's had issues there with connection, and hopefully he can get some points as well. Brilliant stuff indeed there from both the two men there who is making their debut so tonight as well. Mike is really looking on song as well. Of course, the man who's won 2 races this season, Mike has, in the Australian and Dutch Grand Prix, hasn't he? Really good stuff indeed there from Mike there, and kind of get some consistency in this McLaren as well, where he's doing a spectacular job at the moment. And DRS is right on the money. Yellow flag and 1. Rempo is out. Rempo is out of the race. We've got a virtual safety car on Rempo, who once again then one of the most unluckiest drivers on the grid. And what a shame now for Rempo. She is out then of the Canadian Grand Prix. Farf is rolling the dice that are coming in the pits. All the front 3 then, or was the original front 3 are coming in the pits as well then. And now then we've got the 2 McLarens and Liam in 3rd position as well then. Farf is in the pits as well, and the Renault mechanics have changed tyres, and they're on the one stopper by the looks of it. Oh, and Farf is being held up here. Farf is being held up then, the Renault team. Oh, is he? Fran's got a 5-second penalty as well. So where's Farf? Farf, I think, is in front. Yes, he is indeed then. It's there he is, and I thought he was being held up, but he wasn't. And Frisky Biscuit, is he going to get in front of Frisky Biscuit? This might be and that's very good. We're back racing, and I've got to say, those guys that came in the pits and absolutely nailed that, didn't they? Good stuff indeed then. And Maz out of the pits as well, so is Ford's coming out of the pits, and good stuff indeed then. Unfortunately, Rempo out of the race, and what a shame now for Rempo. As I said, probably one of the most unluckiest drivers on the grid, isn't it? I think very much like Mark Webber, isn't she, really? If she had any luck, it'd be bad luck, really. Oh, if she had no luck, it'd be she had any luck, it'd be no luck at all, really, would it? Unfortunately for Rempo, of course, Mark Webber used to have the worst technical gremlins in Red Bull, and unfortunately Rempo as I thought Frisky Biscuit there was going into seeing the accident there, as he had a couple of issues there with that Ferrari sliding all over the show, wasn't it? And now Energetics and the Mono second in the World Championship, trying to get the inside there, locking up both front tyres there from the Alfa Romeo. The man who was runner-up last season in the Liam's got a 3-second penalty as well for his troubles. He's chasing down those 2 McLarens then, and now Energetics then is going side by side with the Ferrari. He passes, he's up into 8th position then. Energetics then is second in the World Championship as well, of course, driving for the Constructors World Champions as well. Gunnar is up into 6th position, unbeknownst to me. Good stuff indeed there for Gunnar, as he now comes into the pits. He's onto the medium tyres of Red Bull drivers, and that should be it for the rest of the day for Gunnar. He needs to stay out the wall then, and he potentially could be on course there for some major good points as well. And on board then with Mike at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed then, as Becca Jones has just said, I can't express how much I love this game now. As I detect a bit of sarcasm there. As unfortunately Rembo out of the race well. Now she joins her teammate Troy on the sideline, and also Dead Rabbit out of this race well. We've had 3 retirements already in this race. I'll say already we're over half distance. It's been fantastic, hasn't it, in terms of reliability and DNF rate at the moment. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then and just on board. And this is the battle for the lead. Then 2 McLarens. We've got Williams there as well. We got Liam, who is very, who of course a very unfamiliar name for ALR bronze drivers, isn't he? He's going to be a familiar name after this race, isn't he? Goodness me! And now Mike has taken the lead there once again. Then the 2 McLarens are doing a fantastic job, aren't they? And I'm loving that. As the Mars has now got past then at Frisky Biscuit on his back foot, isn't he? As he is just dropping down the order as well. Gooner's come out in 10th position. Good stuff indeed there. As all the Gooner fans, are going to be loving it in the comments, ain't they? Oh my goodness me! As already we in Forza there, almost a high-speed collision there. Now Forza might have a run there coming out of the final chicane as well. Not quite at the moment then. Yeah, Gunnar is currently in 10th position there. He doesn't have to stop again, I do not believe. So good stuff indeed there from Gunnar. Here's the battle for the lead then as well then. So both McLarens at the moment then. Mike hasn't actually stretched ahead of Newman yet then. So interesting stuff, and there's an interesting dynamic out there at the moment then. As they're just on board now then with Liam. As he accelerates out of the hairpin as well. I apologize, I'm just trying to get a bit of a breather in this race. 22 laps of absolutely intense racing here in Bronze, and hats off, I've loved this race so far. Once again, Bronze is cooking up an absolute treat, isn't it? And I do love a good old cooked meal as they're coming through to complete lap 22. And look at this, Liam, then the pole sitter is now all over the gearbox of Newman as well as they come into turn number 1 then. I think Liam has got to come in the pits one more time, and I think so is Mike as well. Unless they get those medium tires at the end, which I don't think they can. Then this track is brutal in terms of tire durability. Energetics is on the soft tires, along with velocity as well, and they have set the fast laps of the race so far, and they are bearing down on far through. He's gone on the hard tires. Interesting stuff there from the guys who are in the top 3 then, the World Drivers' Championship as well then, and they have got quite a good cushion over Mike at the moment then, albeit Mike is leading the race then, and if it finishes as it is now, he would really put a major dent then into the top 3's lead so far. Back on board there with Liam. As I think Ayrton has just dropped behind Gordo in the battle for 13th and 14th as well as they come into their pin. And Mike is not pulling away at the moment. I'm wondering if the McLarens wants to do a switcheroo then, because I think that at the moment Mike has not got the pace, has he? And I think that he's doing that, and now he is doing that then. Great team play then for the McLaren team. And of course, I think that McLaren have been known for their team play in the past, haven't they? If anyone remembers the 98 Grand Prix in Melbourne, aren't they? Where they really fluffed their lines up. And Liam's in the pits then, so he doesn't want any more of those shenanigans. He comes into the pits. The man who was on pole position as well, Curly Red, is up into first position. Lovely stuff indeed there. And he's changing those tires. Farford's come through as well. He's on the soft tires now. Liam is till the end of the race. And where is he going to come out then? As Williams are quite down the far end of the pit lane, aren't they? Because of the official Formula 1, they were finished last in the Constructors' Championship, didn't they? And he's coming out around the Frisky Biscuit area. He has passed Frisky Biscuit and moved up into 8th position, Liam Asa. So keep an eye and see what Liam could do then, as he is going to be ferociously quick, I think, in the final stage. So McLaren then, I think, are going to have to really get their heads down now. And I think Newman is only doing one stop then and can go to the end on those hard tyres. This is going to get very interesting indeed. That I'm loving this. And a lot of you are probably like booing me in the chat there, as I don't have a clue what I'm talking about strategy most of the time. But there you go then. That's what makes it more exciting. And on the inside goes Velocity, hugging the inside curve there. He passes Favre, and he is up into his 4th position. And Favre didn't really need that, did he? Because he needs to close the gap on the championship leader. Oh, but Favre is now all over the back of Velocity. And look at this, and he's underneath the rear end. Goodness me, look at them. They're almost one car, and it's almost a fusion of the Williams and Renault there. Of course, they used to be an engine and a team combo, didn't they, in '97 when they were bringing so many championships over the years then. Well, I don't think that they want to be a combo in that way at the moment, do they? As now Liam is now all over the back of Maz as well then. And battle for 7th position as well, and as Farfen is dropping down the order slightly as well, as Gunnar is now moved up the order as well, because we've got Frisky Biscuit coming in the pits as well. Gunnar up in the 9th position, but Forza is catching him now as well. We're watching the Ferrari as he's coming out of turn 1 as well. The Forza's RDW is in 11th position as well. RDW on a fantastic drive fed, and out of the pits comes up Frisky Biscuit. If he gets in front of camera racer, that is a good innings as well. Both Mercedes and a bit of a nightmare race, so is Bradfield as well. At the moment, Newman, it seems like both McLarens can all stay away from each other, can they? And look at that. That was velocity on the outside of the corner. Oh, goodness me, no touching, no banging wheels. There's a runner off. It's RDW. RDW has had an issue there. Oh, goodness me, that's out of turn 7, I think. Oh, my goodness me. And it's a virtual safety car. RDW there. And he is not going to be he's not going to be a big old fan of me, I can say that, because as soon as I said anything positive, he seems to have a bad luck, doesn't he? Mike has taken this opportunity there to come in the pits there and lose less time than what he normally does. That is, he is now putting on is he got a 5-second penalty? I think he has, and Renault mechanics are also on the pits there. It is Farfen has made a strategical error, I feel, and he's now out of the pits as well. No, but maybe he hasn't endorsed being able to Energetics. Look at those eyes there of Energetics. He is focused as the Alfa Romeo team now release him as he comes out of the pits as well. As now then we're back racing. Gunnar there is on the outside, is on the other side of the wall there, and there he is. Gunnar is on a fantastic race as well, and he is really thrown in the mix there as well, and he is at 8th position as well. Forza in 9th position, and Energetics is now down in 10th position there. This race is very much on its head now, isn't it? Incredible stuff. And Liam is back up in the 4th position, isn't he? And he's now going to be hunted down. He has got 14 seconds separates himself from the leaders. The leader is on 15-lap hard tyres. Liam is on 2-lap old soft tyres. There's a 2-step difference, and he has got out the pace advantage. Can those tyres last? And has Liam got the pace out to get after him? Velocity also staying out as well, and he is catapulted himself up to 2nd position as well. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then as now accelerating the way down, and now here comes Liam. Then it's look at this, and he's all over the gearbox of Maz, and Maz had a cracking race in Baku. A 10-second penalty for Energetics. What's going on? Oh, goodness me, there's been an instant down in the hairpin, and further jump velocity. He had a 10-second penalty somehow. I hope he hasn't launched across the curbs there. He is whatever's happened there for Energetics, he is out of the race, and bollocks, he's out of the points for Energetics, the man who is 2nd in the World Championship, and it is going wrong there, isn't it, for Energetics? And Gunnar, who was having a cracking race there, is coming into the pits as well. Oh, goodness me then. And Gunnar is on course with some major points there. That is a shame for Gunnar. And I'm not sure what happened there then, but that was quite suspect, isn't it? Energetics then, Energetics, haven't said that though, he hasn't damaged his wing there, so maybe, I'm not sure what's happened there then. I wonder if Energetics, so he did have a 10-second penalty somehow or another then, weird stuff down at the hairpin, but Energetics, what a shame then, it's all gone wrong in terms of strategy as well. And look at this then, the man who is fighting for the top positions there in the race earlier on then, is all of a sudden, is now being lapped as Energetics then is touring back to the pits. He's only just come out on track then as well, and goodness me then, as Energetics is gone, as he is not happy about that. I'm wondering if someone's collected him in the hairpin, come to say about that, and that is such a shame for Energetics. He just came out on soft tyres then as well, and that's a big blow indeed. Then yellow flags are still fluttering, and as Energetics there is just cruising around at the moment. Maz is in the pits as well for as Farfaz at the fast of the race. He's back in the 5th position now, albeit he's had an extra stop, hasn't he, Farfaz? But then again, all of them has as well, and so it's now replacing the nose cone on Maz as well. I'm interested to see what happened there with Energetics, because Energetics, I was expecting to fly back through this, fly back through the field now and really be on this battle here then, and I think that's a shame. And Gordo is now up into 10th position there. Good stuff indeed. Ericsson also now regaining his way through the car chaos as well then, and just take a look here then, and now where's Liam? Liam is 10 seconds back then on lap 28 then. Oh goodness me then, this is going to get interested indeed then, as hopefully I'll hear what as Energetics looks like he's still in the race then, but he has lost a lot of time then, so Energetics is carrying some kind of issue then. I'd like to hear what's happened to Energetics, and goodness me, we've got a queue of cars here, haven't we? Goodness me, look at this, it's Caro, it's Gordo, it's Maz as well. This is going to be a cracking race. So look at that, there's Ayrton and Fran behind him as well. Yellow flag in 2 is Energetics' limping car down in 17th position at the moment then, so yeah, hopefully someone will enlighten me about that, because that's such a shame then for Energetics, isn't it, as we're coming down into their pin as well. As Forza's D-pad has failed, he's on 7th position at the moment, and just on board as well. Oh, goodness gracious me, then Farf is all over the back of Mike, isn't he? And Farf will proceed his way back up in the full position as well at the moment. Velocity is now in second position, isn't he? As a camera racer that gets a penalty for his efforts as well as they come across the line. And Gordo is done 15, 16 laps there on these hard tyres. Gordo has a yellow flag then in the, as I think it's still energetic side, cruising back to the pits whilst his teammate is in 10th position at the moment. Mars, I think what's going on the outside there, goodness me then. And oh goodness me, energetics has he come to blows there with Forza by the looks, and I'm not sure. Well, we'll find out about that in a minute. I'm just putting two and two together and coming up with 22, which, his camera race has gone very wide down. Now Gordo is going to be very interested indeed then, isn't he? And look at this then as well, and they are very close to the back there. Look at this, man, he's going to go for two, he's going to go for two. Oh my goodness me, Gordo's had to go over the escape road, and he is back in front there, Gordo is that, and there he goes as well then. So as we're back on board then with Mars as well, and I thought that the energetic situation, I thought the energetic was next to Gunnar really, and I hope looks on wonder if Gunnar might have been an innocent bystander in that, and I know what all you regular fans are thinking, Gunnar innocent? Wow, he might be on this occasion as we're now then coming up to the chicane as well, and look at this, and his Gordo there is going to swipe off that nose cone of Mars, but Mars is on course for his second points finish in the matter of two races as well. Great stuff indeed then. Lap 30 out of 35. Liam is bearing down then on Newman as well. Liam is on course for his first podium finish of his career as well. Now as a Mazda is coming out then of a turn two, isn't he? Goodness me, he's all over the back of Gordo as well. Gordo's on course for some points as well. Incredible stuff indeed then. And now then his Liam is 6 seconds. He's getting a good old push there, hasn't he? Liam is now 6 seconds behind the race here. He's at 1.5 seconds behind his teammate. I'm wondering, is there going to be team orders there? Because Velocity, remember, is leading the championship. We've had a lot of team orders at the moment. Gordo is once again then escaped over the road then. And this time Maz has got the position then as well, as Gordo has dropped down the order. And then we've got Ayrton and Fran also battling away in the second Mercedes as well. And there they are in the foreground. Oh, Camaro's in the wall! Camaro's in the wall for the Red Bull. He has damaged the end plate. And what a shame that is. Farf is still all over the back of Mike as well. It's 3/10 of a second alone then, but Maz is now all over the back of Camaro. He's alongside Camaro. He passes Camaro and moves up into 9th position as well. And Gordo's got past as well. Camaro Racer is struggling, isn't he? Ayrton and Fran are on the fringes now. Both Mercedes are on the fringe of the points as well. As Ayrton passes Camaro. Oh, goodness me, there's contact. And there's more contact. Oh, there's two Mercedes. And it's getting very nip and tuck as Ayrton there spinning. And Fran there really, I gotta say they're really keeping it as, surprised this teammate there, isn't he? Goodness gracious me. Absolutely incredible stuff. As Darren is saying, you always blame Gunnar. You're 90% right there. Of course, I hope. As a Gunnar down in 40th position. Jokes aside, that Gunnar is doing a fantastic job. We're not sure what happened with Gunnar, but I got to say, once again, he was on course for a very strong performance, and unfortunately, he might have been robbed of some points here. Here comes Liam. He passes. He moves up into second position, and Velocity has dropped down to third position. 5.3 seconds, then 3 laps to go. Then who is going to win the Canadian Grand Prix? Newman is going for two now, hasn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed. And we could have a 6th race winner in 9 events. Goodness me, then. That is incredible, isn't it? But I think Liam has got an awful lot of work to do, hasn't he? To get that done, hasn't he? Because there is only 3 more laps to go then. Farf is, I've got to say, Mike is doing a cracking job there to keep Farf in bed at the moment. Mike is really harvesting when he needs to be. Lovely shot here from the nose cone of Farf, who's down in 5th position at the moment, isn't he? In the Renault Sport. Forza in 7th position as well at the moment, but Frisky Biscuit all over the back of his teammate, and Frisky Biscuit also on course for some points as well on his debut. Hats off to debutant performance tonight. Then I got to say, then I think in terms of performances, them two have been fantastic. Driver of the day for me, really good stuff indeed. Then as they're now coming out of the hairpin as well, and on the back straight as well then. And I got to say, then this race there is not finished yet. 4.8 seconds the gap is at the front then. Is it too much there for Liam? Oh goodness me, that Ferrari almost steering into the wall there. And I go, oh gosh, as I've just I've had some Nando chips tonight again. As I had a free Nando's last night, and I had the remains tonight. And goodness me, all I can taste now is Nando's chips. As we're now coming in into the chicane as well. Force has got a 3-second penalty as well. Farfetch 3/10 of a second away at the moment, and we've also got Liam. We're on board with Liam. 4 seconds. The gap is 3.9. Look up in the left-hand side. Then that gap is coming down in the steroids, isn't it? Oh goodness me, then 3.8 seconds then. This is very much squeaky bum time, isn't it? And goodness gracious me. And I gotta say, this is gonna be a fantastic. Oh, Fox got another 3-second penalty as well. I'm not sure who is gonna win then the Canadian Grand Prix. It could be anyone. Can it? Well, it could be any one or two, maybe even three, because Velocity is also now being pulled along as well, isn't he? Oh goodness me, then as well. Look at them, they're all bearing down on Newman. This is absolute pressure, the absolute maximum here for the McLaren driver, going for 2 for 2 here tonight. Gordo is also now under pressure as well from the Mercedes of Fran, then, who has got past his teammate Ayrton, and I think he really caught Ayrton by surprise going into turn 1. Can he get some points, Fran? I've got to say, Fran, since the Dutch Grand Prix onwards, has been incredible, hasn't he? Really has. Oh, and Gordo's got wide then. Fran is trying to go on the inside then. Oh, but Gordo there just keeping in front there. And look at this, as Gordo is trying to break the slipstream as well. Goodness me, it's now then is flying down the back straight as well. On board then once again then with a Fran in this 3/10 of a second. I'm just keeping on because there's so many other battles still to play for here tonight. Oh no, we have no goodness me. It's 2.7 seconds with 35 out of 30. No, 34 out of 35 here in the Canadian Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. Then brilliant stuff. Then as Camaro is out of the race, and Camaro is coming to the pits and retired from the race. Unfortunately for the Red Bull driver, because up until that, I think he was on a good race, wasn't he? Till he damaged the end plate. So I think he possibly should have got some points at this stage then. As we're just taking a look at this battle here, I don't know who to look at. There's 2 Ferraris also in combat as well. We've got Fran and Gordo. We have also got Farf and Mike. We have also got Liam's got a 3-second penalty. We have also got there's the yellow flag in 1. Final up there at the Canadian Grand Prix, and here he is. And look, there he is. There's the Williams in the background. Is Newman then coming out there of turn number 1. This is going to be incredible stuff, isn't it? Darren saying that penalties is getting decided. Becca's happy that she retired because she's having an incredible viewing of this final stage of this Canadian Grand Prix as well. And very good stuff indeed then, as they're back on board then with the McLaren and Newman. And I've got to say, Newman has actually pulled out quite a bit of time over Liam on this final part of the course as well. Camera's left the session. Bradfield's also out of this race as well. We're down to 15 cars technically, with Velocity still in there, albeit he is waiting for a rain shower. Farf is up and he's moved past Mike as well. Farf is over the full position. Mike is down into 5th now. Good defending from Mike, and possibly Mike, who's usually Mr. Clean and consistent, might get that position back as they come across the line then. And now then, Newman is going for 2 wins in 2 weeks in 2 races. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Newman out of the final turn, and he comes out, he exits the Wall of Champions, and he wins the Canadian Grand Prix, his 2nd race win of the season, and in a row. Liam is 2nd in the end. Velocity is 2nd in the end. Liam is 3rd. Farf is in 4th position there with Mike in 5th. And so far from a good full position there. Mike then, surprisingly, usually is not got many penalties either. No lap cars. Curly in 6th position there. Forza is battling away in 7th position with Frisky Biscuit in 8th. And 2 great drives from 2 debutants here tonight. Lovely stuff there from Liam and from Frisky Biscuit. Forza 7th, Frisky 8th. And Maz 2 points in 2 races as well. He's on a hot streak as well. Lovely 17 there from Maz. And Gordo out of the final turn. And has he got the final point as well as they come over the line? This is going to be good stuff. Gordo is in 10th position. Ayrton in 11th then. And Fran is going to be... No, Fran's in 10th position then. Gordo is lost. Hasn't got any points there by 0.5 of a second as well. As Energetics there is just spinning around there. But Newman, 2 race wins in 2 weeks now then. Azerbaijan and Canada, 2 completely different circuits. And my goodness me, this is a statement of intent there. Really absolutely nailed the strategy as well, didn't they? Brilliant stuff from Newman. Hats off to him as well, and great teamwork from the McLaren team as well. But it's Williams then who've outscored him today, haven't they? As we're on board then with Newman, and as he is just touring it through then the final part of the course as well, as he is now having a lap of honour as well. And why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't he indeed then? As Michael Preston saying, after so many connection issues, he's happy to take 8th position as well. Bailey Smith, 15th to 6th. Let's go. And I think that might actually be driver of the day as well. Good stuff indeed then. Absolutely fantastic stuff in there. Darren saying GG to the Racing Point team as well. And fantastic stuff indeed then. And of course, we do have the rostrum winners in the podium. Well, no, in the party with me now. But before we do so, I would like to go through the final classification from the Canadian Grand Prix. So just keeping an eye on Newman now, as Energetics said, is touring back then to the pitch. Well, we need to see what happened to Energetics, as it seemed that some shenanigans was in action, wasn't he, in the final stages there as well. Yeah, Bailey Smith, thank you indeed. And of course, I think that I should thank you, my good man, for a cracking race. I should thank all these drivers for a cracking race as well. And there you have it, driver of the day there for Curly Red. And I got to say, that is one thing I would not argue with Cole's match about tonight. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And there he is, Newman, 2 for 2. Goodness me, who's going to stop this man? And I got to say then, we might have a new championship contender. And I got to say that I don't think I can handle anymore. Incredible stuff. Williams there, fantastic, 2nd and 3rd position there. And they will be extending their constructors lead there, won't they? Brilliant stuff indeed then from the Williams pair as well. And let's just take a fine look at the classification then from the Canadian Grand Prix. Newman from 6th on the grid to win the race. Fantastic stuff. And only 1 penalty as well. Great stuff. Velocity in 2nd. In the end there, the championship leader. Brilliant stuff. Liam debutant. Fantastic in 3rd. Farf in 4th position as well. Excellent stuff. Mike in 5th position. 6th position is Curly Red. Driver of the day. Fantastic. Forza in 7th. With Frisky Biscuit. Another debutant in 8th position. Brilliant stuff. Maz in 9th. And in France, stealing that final point from Gordo by less than by a whisker. Wasn't it really incredible stuff? Gordo in 11th position, Ayrton 12th, Guna 13th, RDW in 14th, retirements, Bradfield, Camaro, Energetics 4 laps down, Renbo, Dead Rabbit and Troy all retired from this incredible Canadian Grand Prix. As I got a comment there from FIFA Kings there. Great stuff, Sean. Thank you so much, Mr. Dan Lawrence there. And we have also got Darren saying that no penalties there for Biscuit as well. Hats off, my good man. Very good stuff indeed there. Anyway, let's quickly now go and have a quick chat then with the rostrum drivers then, shall we? And let's start off with the man who's now had 2 wins in 2 weeks. Newman, my goodness me. You've had 2 fantastic races in Azerbaijan last week and again here tonight. I got to say, you're on fine Vettel at the moment.
Yeah, no, it was tough today, harder than last week I think. Qualifying didn't quite go to plan, but the race that matters.
Indeed, though, because you did start 6th, which made your race a bit more difficult. Talk about strategy. Was that your plan there, to have a straightforward strategy like that, and just go from the? I think it wasn't it from the mediums to the hard tyres? Was that? I can't remember.
It was the soft hards, but no, that weren't. So it was the plan after qualifying, but the plan was medium hards. But when I saw the rain in Q2, I didn't think I'd be quick enough, but everyone else went out in the mediums, but I didn't want to gamble that, so I went to the softs and had to just readjust.
Oh, and I've got to say, that's even more impressive, actually, going from the softs to hards. Amazing stuff.
Terrible at the end. I saw the gap just coming down from Liam, I think.
And how did you feel when you were seeing that gap, like being coming down in steroids? Then I got to say, you looked as cool as a cucumber in the car then. But was you feeling cool in there?
Well, I knew we had 6-second time penalties, and like the last few laps, I didn't have any. I got mine on like the second from last, so it wasn't too nervous. But then it started coming down and down. I think it got to about 2 seconds when we crossed the line.
Goodness me! Congratulations, you won 2 wins in 2 races. Then are you going to go for a 3rd next week?
Let's see.
Brilliant stuff indeed, Newman. Let's come to Velocity, the championship leader who finished 2nd today. Velocity, do you think that was a race loss or points gained?
Right, any time I'm finishing above Farf and Hilker, that's a race win to me. How I've managed to take those softs 15 laps baffles me, but it was an incredible race, honestly.
It really was. Talk about your race through your experiences, and what was the difficulties out there today? As you mentioned already, those 15 laps on soft tires is absolutely incredible stuff.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty confusing race for me, because obviously I didn't go into the pits under the first safety car because I was shitting it about my strategy. So I just stayed out constantly, just following Farf. VSC came out, I pulled in, he pitted onto the hards, I went onto softs, and I was risking it, or else that was me GG. But I was losing about 3/10 a lap because my headset was messing up the whole race and I couldn't hear the actual car. I was basically driving on mute, which was really annoying.
But still, a good second position today then, and also you extend your lead in the championship as well, so not too bad.
Yeah, honestly, an amazing result for me, all things considered.
Brilliant stuff, and well done, Velocity. And let's come to, I got to say, an amazing, my goodness, Liam, I was comparing you to Jacques Villeneuve and maybe even Lewis Hamilton. You had an outstanding drive in your first attempt at ALR today. Impressive stuff. How was it from your point of view?
Yeah, thanks very much. It was tough, especially with the safety car at first. I weren't sure if the Williams were both going to double stack, and I had front wing damage. So I thought I better not risk changing it, and then I couldn't change it in time to actually fix it when I realised that velocity was down out. So I kind of had to persevere through the whole race, but that was good. Enjoyed that.
And there were some cracking overtakes as well, I got to say. There was some really good racecraft on the show then. Hopefully we'll see you back next week then. Did you enjoy that overall though?
I did, yeah, I loved it. That was brilliant.
Fantastic stuff. Well done, Liam. And I've got to say, you got some fans in the comments as well. They was loving your qualifying and race performance today. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And I think that'll be it then from ALR for Canada. I got to say, we've had some cracking races in gold, silver, and bronze, haven't we? Well, the next venue is probably not the most popular in the world, is it? We're in Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix next Sunday at 6:30 UK time. And of course, Monday, 7:30 UK time for silver, and Tuesday for bronze, 7:30 UK time. See you on Sunday as we head to France. Goodbye.